10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Plainfield High School, the home of the Quakers. Around here, they call it Red Pride football. Tonight, it is the pride of Plainfield High School, the Quaker football program, with a huge matchup in conference against the Mooresville Pioneers. Mooresville 2-0 on the season. They visit a Plainfield team that is 1-1 on the year. But tonight, it's a new season for both teams involved because tonight, it's the opener of the Mid-State Conference. Hi, everyone. Rob Blackman here alongside Big Jan Bozier, and we thank you for joining us on this humid Friday evening at Plainfield High School, where the temperature is 77 degrees, but the humidity is at 82%. That cannot be a good thing if you're wearing full pads for this matchup tonight. Jan, conference opener, they always bring a little bit more intrigue, do they not?
They indeed do. You know, there might be some rivalries that are bigger, but there are none better than Plainfield and Mooresville. I've covered multiple series games between these two ball clubs, and they're exciting, they're fun, they're hard-hitting. And for the conference, you want to start off with a win. Both teams will certainly try to do that tonight.
Here's the beauty of this one. It's not only the conference opener, but from here on out the rest of the year, it's all conference games.
Exactly.
So you want to get off on a good foot because you will play in conference the rest of the way until you get to the postseason. The Quakers, as I mentioned, are 1-1 on the season. Lost pretty handily to Avon in week 1, 44-13, but then came back with an impressive win at Tri-West last week, 28-13. Mooresville's off to a great start, 2-0, currently ranked 11th in the coaches poll. They beat Lebanon 46-7, a road game in week 1, then beat Danville, a road game, 28-26 in week 2, and here they are, a road game in week 3. Mooresville starts the season with 3 straight roadies. The good news, they are 2-0, and for a team that last year, Jan, went 3-9, Mooresville seems to really have turned it around here in 2018.
They got hot at the end of last year, going into the sectional play, won a couple games, and ended up getting beat, but lost 7 or 8 in a row, and they got hot, and things got going and some momentum, and they really feel like they're going to carry that momentum from last year into this year, and so far so good, as you talked about, 2-0 for the first time in over 3 years. So Mooresville's super excited about this ball club.
Well, and they got a little bit of revenge, one would think, on their minds. Last year, this game, Plainfield wins at Mooresville 54-14. You know the Pioneers are thinking about that.
Plainfield's won the last 3. So Mooresville's tired of that, number 1. Number 2, nothing hurts worse than get beat on your own turf. So there's a lot of incentive here for both these ball clubs to really play hard. I think this is going to be super exciting. Plainfield wants to run the football. They want to run it first. They'll pass it, and they've got a pretty nice quarterback here we'll talk about here in a few seconds. Mooresville passes it really well. They want to try to run a little better. So we'll see how both teams play tonight.
All right, so let's talk about strategy. Mike Gillen is the head coach at Mooresville, one of the best this state has ever seen. 40 seasons on the job, not all at Mooresville. This is only his second season at Mooresville. But as far as active coaches in the state go, he's currently 3rd in the state, behind only Bud Wright and Russ Radke. When those are the only 2 guys ahead of you in wins, you know you're doing something right. Mike Gillen brings to Mooresville the one thing he's always been known for, and that is the ability to pass the football and score a lot of points.
Exactly right. Of course, he was in Indian Creek forever and had great success there. Well, when the Mooresville job opened up and they were able to get him, they got a jewel because he knows how to do one thing, get young men to respect what he does and how he does it and make them winners, and that's what he will do at Mooresville. Look how quickly now he's already made them competitive in just shy of a year and 2 games.
Now, on the flip side, Brian Woodard feels like he's been at Plainfield forever. He kind of has. 13 seasons here at Plainfield. He's won 75 games in those 13 seasons. And you mentioned his quarterback, so let's talk about it. Aiden Moyers is only a sophomore. He's not a big guy. He looks like a 10th grader. He's 140 pounds. but he's the son of Derek Moyers, who is on the coaching staff here at Plainfield. Derek, former head coach at Pike. A little pedigree there when you talk about a guy that should be a good QB for you.
I'm going to correct you. I think there's a lot of pedigree there.
Yeah.
To have Moyer as a dad, just to eat, drink, and sleep football with him all the time, just listen to what he knows about football. Look what he was able to do to a Pike Red Devil ball club over the years he was there. Unbelievable what he knows about football. So you're right. I've not seen the young man yet. He's a young guy, but he has played very well. They've tried to keep the pressure off of him. They really try to run first, pass second, and the more he can do passing, Plainfield's just going to get that much better.
Well, one way they've been able to do that is with their running back, Tavion Gadia, 270 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Plainfield's only scored 6 touchdowns the whole season. Gadia has scored 3 of them, and Cade Ritter has scored the other 3. So all of the touchdowns have come from 2 players. Again, that's a bit of a skewed number because we're only now opening week number 3 of the regular season. And we're about to open week number 3. Plainfield is going to take the opening kickoff as they have elected to take the ball here to start the game. Mooresville doing the kicking, and they'll be doing it with number 8, Christian Swigert. Swigert also doubles has their punter as well, so he's the kicker/punter combo. And Plainfield sends a couple of speedsters deep. And number 29, Colin Dorsett, and number 27, Logan Burden. So Swigert about to lay the foot to the leather. Thank you for joining us on the IHSAA Champions Network. Week number 3, Indiana high school football. And tonight we are in Plainfield, home of the Quakers, for a good old-fashioned backyard battle between the Pioneers and the Quakers. And week 3 is officially underway. This is Dorsett at around his 10-yard line. And with a little bit of a crease, he bounces his way out to the 32-yard line. And here comes the Quakers offense from the sideline. It'll be our first chance to see that sophomore, Aiden Moyers, 29 of 38, 272 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception this season.
Well, coming into this 2018 campaign, Plainfield knew on the offensive side they had some key holes to fill, and some of that was the offensive line. So let's see how this Quaker offensive line, they want to run the football. Can they provide the blocking against Mooresville?
So here come the Quakers, and they will work from the shotgun. And this is read option right away, and wouldn't you know it, also right away, this is Cade Ritter. Cade Ritter took the first snap of the game at the Wildcat position, so they Coach Woodard and the offensive staff elect to go with a Wildcat formation right out of the gate. And they fumbled a football, and Ritter falls back on top of it. That was almost disaster. Ritter and Gadia at the mesh point fumbled the football, but Ritter falls back on top of it, and now the true quarterback Moyers does sub into the game.
Yeah, and Plainfield, as you well described it here, gets incredibly lucky because they just about intercepted that fumble, and they got one there, Rob.
So they went with Cade Ritter, the senior, who's their leading receiver. He started the game as their Wildcat quarterback for the first 2 snaps, and now on 2nd and 11, they bring in Moyers and go back to a more traditional passing offense, and wouldn't you know it, they throw it to Ritter.
Well, right on cue. And, I think for the young guy, the game starts, gives him just a little more time to get settled in. He will be their passer. And I think they're just trying to get him into this offense gradually, but they know his potential for sure.
18 catches, 154 yards, 3 touchdowns on the year for Ritter. So they've snapped it to Ritter twice. Now they've thrown it to him once on 3 snaps from scrimmage. Here's Moyers on a 1st and 10. This is the opening drive of the game. And this is toss sweep right. This is Gadian with a little bit of running room as he turned the corner over the right end. He is a tough guy to bring down. A little bit of a fire plug, if that's the right word, the way he can keep those legs churning. He's not a very big guy at 5'4", 170 pounds.
Well, so far that Plainfield front line is really coming off the ball sharp. They're giving their team really good 2nd and short. That works well in this Plainfield playbook.
2nd and 5. Tavion Gadia, where's number 13? They're play actioning to him. Now they're going to throw. And there's a throw and a catch. That ball is caught by Gage Henry. Henry's inside of the 30-yard line. Henry is only 5'5" and 150 pounds, but he's got a first down catch.
And, Rob, what I like what Plainfield's doing here, they're doing less than a one, maybe just 1.5 step, and then from the shotgun. So that does not allow Mooresville to put much pressure at all. So he's doing a quick count, just a quick out, really getting in a good rhythm here early.
Who says football's a big man's game? You got a 5'4" running back and a 5'4" wide receiver making plays. This ball is just inside of the 15-yard line.
Blake Garrett, the big guy, is senior, 5'8", 248 pounds, makes a really nice stop there from the defensive line position, really stayed low. The key really in any defensive lineman is to stay low. If you get lower than that blocker, it makes it really difficult for him to block you.
Second down and 6 for the Quakers.
Plainfield really kind of with a nice opening drive here, Rob.
Moyers has to step up in the pocket, and he is going to be ripped down. What a great individual effort running him down from behind. That is Connor Kite, the defensive lineman. Kite, who last season was one of their better players. This year, he just picked up his 16th tackle.
Well, that time Mooresville was able to get some pressure on Moyer, and then nice job in the secondary. Really kind of a secondary sack, if you will. There's just nobody open for Moyer to get the ball to, but really liked the pressure that time by the Pioneers.
Kite, 6 foot, 235 pounds. A little reverse here, some trickery for Cade Ritter. He's going to throw it. He's got a man, and Plainfield scores first. The trick play is a touchdown caught by Gage Henry.
Well, there's a lot of things about this play. Trick plays really are super affected the timeliness of when you use them. This is a great time to call this. Part number 2, got to be well executed. The receiver never stops his route. Everything was right where it needed to be. The key there, great execution by Plainfield.
Gage Henry, the first man this season not named Gaddia or Ritter to score a touchdown for Plainfield. The extra point attempted here by Harris Nichols is on the way. It is good, and it is 7-0. Plainfield takes the opening kickoff, drives down the field, and draws first blood. 7-0. Plainfield leads Mooresville on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
This is old you. And this is now you. Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent, and now you can stop knocking on wood.
Well, wouldn't you know it, Ritter actually ends up throwing the touchdown pass. He's the guy that started the series as the quarterback, although that's not his natural position. And he didn't throw the pass as a natural quarterback. It was a reverse that Ritter has the touchdown throw. And it's 7-0. Plainfield with the early lead. They score on their opening drive as Nichols kicks this ball away, and it is into the end zone. In high school football, if it's maybe your first time watching high school football, know that once that kickoff crosses the goal line, it's an automatic touchback.
Well, that's the beauty of having a couple guys who can throw the football. You can really put in those types of plays and have some accuracy in the passing game. A lot of times you'll see that reverse pass where a halfback who does not throw the football all that much then has to pass, and sometimes underthrows them, sometimes doesn't overthrow them. But in that case, where you got two guys who are very comfortable passing the football, really force the execution to just be perfect.
Well, here's a guy that's comfortable throwing it. Carson Goodman, the 6'1", 172-pound senior, wearing number 12, the QB for the Pioneers, his first snap offensively. And it is a running play as he turns it out to James Mabry Jr. Mabry is their top rusher, 258 rushing yards on the season, 2 touchdowns. He ran for over 700 yards last season, and his opening run is just for 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Plainfield's interior defense really clogs that middle that time. And Mooresville head coach talked about they need to work and get better at this running game. And so they're going to force themselves with a second long here, Rob.
3 receivers in the formation here as it looks like possibly Goodman might be changing the play. He does want to throw, and he has his receiver. That's Eineman. John Eineman will be near the first down marker. I think he will have enough. Eineman's the leading receiver on the team with 11 catches coming in. That's his 12th catch of the season, and it is a first down.
Really stays in the pocket solid. His front guys gave him lots of time to throw the football. They're averaging right now, you may have said this, over 222 yards passing in their first couple of games. So they certainly can be effective in this passing game.
They're also running for 190 a game. They have really been good offensively in the first 2 games of the year. This is Mabry, made the first man miss and does turn the corner. That'll be a gain of 8, maybe 9 yards. As Mabry was able to turn the edge to the left side of the formation. That's a nice first down play.
And take a look at this cut. Look how quick this cut was. He recognized the hole was not there, made a beautiful move outside, and he makes really kind of something out of nothing there by stretching this thing around the side.
They will give him 9 yards, 2nd and 1. Goodman wants to pass, has a man out of the backfield. This is Braden Evans. He has a first down run and even a few more yards after that before tackled by Owen Litzelman. Evans' first catch of the night. He has 8 catches on the season. He's a junior.
I absolutely love this play. I really sometimes wonder why more teams don't use this. A lot do, especially on first down, especially if you get that first key block there. Take a look here. Here's the pass. The key is the block right there. See, that springs him 4 yards after catch of about 7 or 8. That makes that play so tough if you don't get help defensively on the outside.
Heineman with a huge block down the field. 1st and 10 Pioneers. Mabry has some room, makes a cut in the hole. He's inside of the 25-yard line and has finally stood up there. Took 3 Plainfield defenders to bring him to the ground, and I'll tell you what, winning first down has been a key for Mooresville on this opening drive.
And it will be when you don't run the ball incredibly well, or certainly trying to get better at it. But boy, forget that on this run. He got a great hole early and then made lots of running room out of it. But still, this offense is moving, and that's exactly what Pioneer coaches want them to do.
So an impressive first drive for Plainfield. Mooresville also an impressive opening drive here as we're in the first quarter, almost halfway through the first quarter. Mabry again. This time tripped up as he falls forward. That time the defense was ready, willing, and able. That'll be a gain of only 2. A very nice tackle made there by Ricky Alsum, 5'8 junior. Alsum wears number 21.
Alsum really did. He stood in there, didn't he? He was shedding blockers and got to the ball carrier, and that's just a strength move right there, the ability to get rid of people and make that tackle. That was a great move on his part.
2nd down and 8. They want to throw. That ball is over the head of the intended receiver. Braden Evans could not reach up high enough off that pass from Goodman, and now it will be 3rd and 8.
That would have been a tough one to connect on. He was in double coverage. They tried to split between it. He's literally taken less than a 2-step drop and trying to put it out there early. But well covered in that secondary by this Plainfield Quakers secondary. Good job.
Well, a 3rd and long. We have not seen a lot of these in this first quarter. Let's see if Plainfield can come up with a much-needed stop here. Goodman on play action. Now he's going to sprint to his left on the run. What a throw on the run. That's running to his left. A right-handed passer throws a bullet to Evans.
Well, you're right, Rob. And this is a right-handed quarterback, as you mentioned. Now take a look. He's running to his left, but what I like here is he releases it before the receiver makes his cut. So when he makes the cut, it's right there in his hands, and that makes it super difficult for the defense to get a move on it. Well executed that time by Mooresville.
And that came on 3rd and 8. Ball is just outside of the 10. Mabry carries. Had to run away from a couple of would-be tacklers and gets upended down around the 6-yard line. A really nice tackle, slicing the legs out from under him by Colin Dorsett.
Well, I'll tell you, note to Plainfield defense. Take a look here. You better gang tackle Mayberry. He is a strong young man. Right there's an arm tackle. That's not going to do it. You hit him with your head down, that's not going to do it. You've got to hit him square, and you need support, gang tackling on this young man.
Mooresville can get a first down without scoring. They'd have to put the ball inside of the 1 yard line. Goodman wants to throw. He's got Eineman. Tries to run away from some tacklers and gets down to about the 3 yard line. A good job of holding on there by Litzelman. Not enough for a first down. Third down coming, 3rd and 2, and again, Mooresville could pick up a first down without scoring.
Well, Mooresville's shown us why they're putting 200-plus yards per game in the passing game. They've really got the passing game dialed in. And the key here, again, I guess because I'm an ex-offensive lineman, he's getting time to throw the football. So let's give those guys up front a lot of credit for Mooresville.
Mabry lowering the shoulder, pushing toward the goal line. Did he get in? No, but I think it's going to be enough for a first down. Mooresville, I believe, is going to get a new set of downs here.
Yes, he did.
And they're going to have first and goal right about the 1 yard line, actually inside of the 1.
Well, this Mooresville offense, Rob, has certainly been efficient, mixing it up, both run and pass. There's another key running down, but key here is to know where you got to get. You give yourself now 4 chances to really, 6 inches?
Oh, this is Mabry time, don't you think?
Oh, that's who I would give the ball to.
Here he goes. And he's just scored his 3rd touchdown of the season. Mooresville, touchdown, a 1 yard run by Mabry, and it's 7-6.
Well, this is tough defensively. You not much real estate to help you out there. And well, that's just a great drive by Mooresville, capped off by that little 6-inch drive to put the score on. But both teams now put points on the board.
On their opening drives, Swigert extra point up and good. And it's 7-7, 3:29 to play in the first quarter on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
A licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Well, each team has had the football exactly once. Each team has scored exactly 1 touchdown, and both with impressive opening drives.
They really were. Both defenses now, defensive coordinators going to have to earn their money. These offenses are dialed in. That's what you like as a fan. You love points on the board, but boy, these defenses have got their work cut out for them.
Swigert to kick it off for the 2nd time tonight. Burden and Dorset waiting deep. This is a much shorter kick. Look out there, Plainfield. That's actually going to be fielded by a guy wearing number 50, which sometimes is a dangerous proposition, but it is not for this number 50, Ryan Kurt, the 6-foot, 230-pound senior. Actually looked pretty nimble there.
Especially they have him listed as a lineman. Boy, that's a lineman's dream. I played
Hey,
football for 20 years. Nobody would ever kick me the ball.
I was about to say you were a lineman. How many kick returns did you have?
None, and there's probably a good reason for that. This is the only sport where you can play for 100 years and never touch a ball.
There's a reason for that. They never gave you the ball.
That's
Jan,
right.
You know? Second possession of the game for Plainfield, and, no surprise here. They turn and hand the football to Tavion Gattia, their leading ground gainer.
Yeah, he was able to get a few. I like the way that Mooresville got off the ball there defensively. Still a good couple yards. You want to be efficient on first down, and if you can get 2 to 3, and that's almost 3, you like that. Opens your playbook up some.
And look at this. The sun has popped out here.
I know.
At Plainfield, about 20 minutes after 7 o'clock local time. Here's a nice throw and a catch. This is Cade Ritter. Ritter was a busy participant in that opening drive of the game for Plainfield, and his catch here will give them about a 3rd and 6, maybe 3rd and 5 coming up.
You see the replay there. They try to send a man in motion, get those linebackers to bite. And this will bring up a 3rd and about 5. You know, you talk about the sun. You know, the biggest transition for me going from high school to college was playing during the day in the sun.
Yeah, right.
It is completely different.
Warriors wants to throw on 3rd and 5. He does have an open receiver, and a good job. Got that ball to Ritter. Ritter's still on his feet. He's down to the 21-yard line. The only guy that had a chance to catch him was Braden Evans, and Evans got him to the ground. How about the sense of awareness by the quarterback? Moyers, right before he was at the line of scrimmage, he delivered the pass.
Yeah, he did not panic, Rob, at all. Take a look, and he's rolling. He sees the pressure, feeds, stops on a dime, and does not panic, keeps his composure, hits a man dead in the hands in stride. That's a great pitch and catch.
Boy, that was a great replay, too. You could see he was about half a yard away from getting to the line of scrimmage and pass that ball just in time to avoid an illegal forward pass. Now carrying the ball this time, this is Logan Burden. First time we've called his name as a ball carrier. He does have 47 rushing yards this season, does the senior. As we go under 90 seconds to play in the opening quarter.
Well, both teams really moving the football here. As you look down, last week Mooresville their average, I should say, 415 total yards in the first 2 games. Plainfield a little less, 304. But, boy, right now both these offenses are dialed in.
Burden does stay in the game as the tailback, the senior. Warriors wants to throw, has his receiver. Oh, nice hit delivered right at the point of the catch. Jack Beebe with a catch. But he paid the price. Now, he did pick up a first down. He literally, watch him, he gets right to the sticks, turns around and catches this football, and then takes the punishment.
What I like about this, and you know, the key is, yes, he did take punishment, but what you want to do as a defender is try to punish that receiver so he thinks about you next time he goes out for the pass. Maybe I don't want to get hit like that again.
Wildcat formation this time for Gaddia. They put him in now at quarterback. So technically he's the 3rd different player to line up at quarterback in this game for Plainfield. Now, understand this is the Wildcat formation, but Gaddia took the snap and gains 3, we'll give him 3.5, maybe 4 yards as we're under 20 seconds to go in the quarter.
Well, you just kind of feel the pressure on these offenses. Moving the football, last thing you want to do is not cash in and get some points.
Play action, wide open, coming out of the left side of the formation. Touchdown, Plainfield. My goodness, they have looked good on offense. This is Seth Weiniger, the tight end, the sophomore with a catch.
Rob, just a great play call. The play calling has been phenomenal on both sides of the ball. Reverse bootleg here, and he springs that guy wide open. He gets Mooresville to bite on the misdirection bootleg.
Weiniger lined up as the right tight end, came across the formation at the snap, caught the ball in the left flank on an excellent play call by Brian Woodard and his offensive staff. Extra point is up and good by Harris Nichols, and Plainfield 2 for 2 on touchdown drives on their first 2 possessions. That gives me a chance to pat on the back the head coach at Plainfield, Brian Woodard. 13 seasons here at Plainfield. A former college teammate of mine was Brian. Now, he was a freshman when I was a senior, so you know how that goes on a college football team. I didn't pay any attention to him, obviously. Seniors don't talk to the freshmen, but Brian has done a great job here at Plainfield, and he's got a couple of other former college teammates of mine on the staff that I was happy to see prior to this game. Kevin Sloan is one of his coaches, as is John Minton, also guys I played with at the University of Evansville. And you know, for a school that doesn't have football anymore, the University of Evansville, we have a lot of guys in coaching.
I had multiple friends who played for Evansville years and years ago. I want to say coach there was Coach Bishop for a lot of years. Is that right or wrong?
That would have been
Moses?
before my time.
I forget. You're so young.
I'm
talking about in the dark ages.
Before they had electricity, you mean?
Yes. I used to have some. There were some people I played with went and played for Evansville. That's too bad. They haven't had football for a long while, though.
Yeah, dropped it in 1997.
Yeah.
You may be thinking of Coach Byers. He's probably the most famous of all the coaches. He was a bit before my time. But, for a school that doesn't have football anymore, there's still a lot of guys coaching high school football here in the state of Indiana. Of course, we saw Bill Peebles on opening night for Cathedral, a former University of Evansville player. 14-7, Plainfield the early lead. As I said, 2 for 2 on offensive opportunities. This is Heineman. Oh, he's got a crease, and this guy can run. Joe Heineman, he's got some speed. Now he's into the open field.
Look out!
20-10, touchdown, Heineman.
You know, Rob, we really haven't seen this year a ton of big plays or returns for touchdown. And how about Mooresville answering the call? Boy, this is a lot of good blocking, but boy, this is even a better run. He just kind of waits, looks for his creases, his avenue, and then you called it, Rob. How about some speed here at the end?
Boy, just a couple of missed tackles, and you give Heineman a second chance, and he takes advantage. Heineman scores his 3rd touchdown of the year. It's his first kickoff return touchdown, but he does have a punt return touchdown to his credit. So Heineman this season has scored a receiving touchdown, a punt return touchdown, and now a kick return touchdown. The first quarter has come to a close, and if you like offense, you have picked the right game tonight. 14-14, our score between Plainfield and Mooresville on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
This is Old You. And this is Now You.
5 wears his fire hat and coat in the wind.
Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent. And now you can stop knocking on wood.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Swigert to kick it away from Mooresville as we open up the second quarter. And this will be a touchback. So think about this. With 5 seconds to go in the first quarter, Plainfield led 14-7. 5 seconds later, it was 14-14. Thanks to the heroics of John Heineman. And we'll open the second quarter 14 apiece.
Wow. How about some points in the first period? Love it.
Well, now Plainfield only 13 in the season opener against Avon. Scored 28 last week against Tri-West. So the fact that they've scored 14 early points, they got to be feeling good about that. Mooresville, they've been putting points on the board. 46 in that season opening win over Lebanon. Moyers, toss, sweep, left. This is Gadia. Oh, and here comes a penalty flag. We're going to have our first penalty of the game. That is, if the play stands, it'll be a 2-yard loss. However, again, we do have our first penalty of the game. So let's see what our lead referee, Eric Lowe, is going to tell us here. And, a personal foul, face mask. Ouch.
Yeah,
Boy, Mooresville, you think you had him stopped for a 2-yard loss, and instead you're going to give him an automatic first down. I beg your pardon, this is a 5-yard walk-off. 5-yard. So it'll be a replay of the down. So now it's really more like a 1st and 7.
Exactly. Well, and you're right, Mooresville had him stopped really well. Newkirk made some beautiful play and must have got that hand up in that face mask incidental, so it was the smaller one of the two.
Gadia. Oh, he makes one man miss, gets his way all the way up to the 30. That should be enough for a first down. As Gadia found just a crease. And that's enough for that little guy to find running room.
Boy, we've got 2 runners tonight that are just working their tails off here, finding just a little bit of crease or a hole, and boy, they just keep running.
He gives it right back to Gadia, does Moyers, and that time he got tripped up as he was trying to find his way. I think he had a hole there. in between the guards, but he got tripped up en route, lost his balance, and jumping on top of him to secure the tackle, Jacob Vaughn, the junior who wears number 58.
Well, you got to think defensively on either side. If you can, any way you can get a stop, that can change the complexity of this game in a hurry, because neither team has really been able to stop either team.
Well, they substitute Gaddia out of the game, bring Burden in, give Burden the ball, and the senior will not have enough for a first down, but he'll make it manageable here, 3rd and short.
I got to tell you, both these teams play a lot of no huddle. There's a few kids going both ways, and you and I were talking, Rob, earlier, and the heat's one thing, but as a player, this humidity, at least for me, and it'll vary from player to player what affects you. Some players, nothing affects them, but there are some other players where the hot sun, but for me, it was this humidity because it just drains you, and a lot of times you'll see a lot more leg cramps during this type of environment.
Well, Burden couldn't pick up the first down. That's because Adrian Jope, the senior linebacker, came slicing in there and grabbed him by the waist. So 4th and 1, and just when you thought Plainfield was going to go for it, a timeout is called. Timeout on a crucial 4th and 1 early here in this second quarter. The timeout taken by Mooresville. When things in your life change, your insurance should too. Luckily, an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent can help to see if you're covered for life's constant changes. Find a local agent at infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, stop knocking on wood. So, Jan Bozier, let's continue that conversation. The humidity tonight is at 82% as a player. Boy, it's almost unbearable, suffocating at times, right?
It really is. And like I say, people always ask me, well, how does that affect the player? And I go, well, it affects every player a little different. Some people doesn't. I played with guys, it wouldn't matter what happened. It could be 20 below or 200 degrees. They act like it. And other players, specifically like me, high humidity, I ran out of gas early because it just drained me. And now this is where your conditioning will come in for sure, and the better conditioned teams can withstand this a little better. But when and the other piece I just talked about, they run a lot of no huddle. Well, back in the day when you huddled, at least you could catch a breath.
Right.
And now you can't catch a breath on top of the humidity.
Wildcat formation, and they're going to pick up the first down. Out of the timeout called by the defense, Gaddia takes the direct snap for offensive purposes, and Plainfield turns a 4th and 1 into a first down.
Well, it's our first opportunity to see this young man run the football, and right now he's special. A little bit of Wildcat here, and he just flat out takes the ball and makes something happen. And you can see why they want this ball in his hands. He's electrifying and just makes plays.
Good push up front by that offensive line. Moyers to throw, and he does have his receiver diving but still making a catch. Is BB, his second catch of the night, the sophomore.
Well, Plainfield likes this passing. They want this passing game to really help in just opening up more for their running game. And you have to say right now that Moyer, he has been super effective throwing the football.
He's been accurate, but that's kind of been the story for him. He only had 9 missed passes all season coming into this game. Gaddia, he collided, right at the first down marker and was somehow able to fall forward. There was a violent collision in there.
And for me, this is where you talked about playing for your dad to the caliber of what his dad is, just phenomenal coach. He is obviously, and his head coach here too is obviously well. Just be yourself. Play within yourself. Don't try to do things you can't do. Do what you can do. And right now he seems super comfortable in that quarterback position. He's not rushing anything. You called that play earlier where he had some pressure, kept his head about him, and made a great reception. So far, so good for this quarterback of the Plainfield Quakers.
That did end up being a first down. They took a long look at it, did not actually measure, but they looked at it and said, first down and 10 Plainfield. Play action. And that is incomplete. Broken up. Number 14 hit number 14. Ritter, the intended receiver. The number 14 that was laying the wood was Gavin Evans, one of the team captains for Mooresville, and he dislodged that football, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, but Moyer puts this thing in here, doesn't he? Boy, that's just a great defensive play. That ball was right on the money, and he had it in his hands. And sometimes you can play hard football and make good plays go bad, and that's exactly what this defense does, is just good hard hitting made him not able to hang on to this thing.
Evans, the free safety, laying the wood there. Here's a nice run up in there by Logan Burden. Boy, the senior, he's been a nice change of pace to Gadia, hasn't he?
He
just
has.
kind of two different types of running backs, but both effective.
Mooresville likes to play this 4-4 stack. There's a really good look at it with 4 down linemen. And right now, the Plainfield front line is doing an excellent job.
1st and 10 for the Quakers. Burden and Gadia getting it done as the running backs. There's Burden again. This time try to cut it back against the grain, but boy, I'll tell you who was having none of that was number 32, Camden Schmidt. The inside linebacker, the junior, with a big-time tackle, number 32 for Mooresville. He has 5 tackles on the season coming in.
Yeah, this is a big play by Schmidt. Makes a one-on-one tackle and now forces Plainfield to go a little deeper in their playbook. It's 2nd and 8 or 9. It'll be an interesting play call here. Let's see what they do.
Moyers wants to throw pump fake, I should say, and now lofts it up. And what a catch in traffic!
What a catch!
Oh,
Rob, are you kidding me?
that was in triple coverage, and yet it was still caught by Gage Henry.
They have Cage, I think you mentioned this, 5'5", and he is in triple coverage and comes down with his football. Unbelievable. Great throw again by the quarterback, and even a better catch.
1st and goal for Plainfield.
What a pitch and catch.
Wildcat. Gaddy is going to keep it. He's going to go in untouched. That Wildcat formation has been nothing short of perfection tonight for the Quakers. They now lead 20-14.
Just great punch by that front line, and he wasn't even really touched as he takes it in. Boy, and this Plainfield offense, you can't say enough of good things here early at least. They've been excellent.
This is Harris Nichols to try to make it a 21-14 game. And he does just that. 21-14. Plainfield continues to be a well-oiled machine offensively in this ball game. It's Plainfield and Mooresville tonight on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to IHSAAfoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Well, not only have we not had a punt attempted in this game, I don't believe, Jan, we've had more than 1 4th down. That last drive for Plainfield, remember they had the 4th and 1 and converted it easily. I believe that's the only 4th down play we've even had in this game. That's how good the offenses have been tonight.
You're dead right. Both these defensive coordinators are just kind of trying to figure out what adjustments they can make. And the problem both offenses have given, both teams, Rob, have ran the football, and they both are passing it. So you got to pick your poison where you're going to try to cheat maybe just a little bit, take something away.
I don't think I'd kick it to Eineman. They won't. They actually squib it. Last time they kicked to Eineman, he took it to the house on a kickoff return touchdown. Instead, this ball got squibbed to Breakin Green, a backup, a sophomore. So a smart move in the special teams game. Don't kick it to Eineman. But Mooresville will have possession here. Mooresville's offense hasn't had a lot of chances because Eineman's last touchdown was their 2nd touchdown. So
yeah, and you know what you got now offensively on both sides, you've got a lot of pressure to score every time you touch the football, because if you don't, the other team, at least for now, has not been stopping. You do not want them to go up on you 2 scores.
Goodman has 3 receivers to the top of the screen. Fakes to Mabry. This is a play action. Here's Eineman on the screen play out to the far right. That's that jailbreak screen that so many teams run these days.
That's exactly right. That's that play earlier I talked about. I love this, and they're schooled so well. Take a look at the block. There it is again. There's that quick block on that outside, and that block was by Braden Evans. Give a lot of credit to the blocker there, because without that block, he doesn't get near the yardage he gets with that block. That's key. I love that play.
Pushed the ball out to the 49-yard line, 1st and 10. Little inside reverse to Evans. This play will technically count as a pass. Evans has running room. He breaks out of the pile.
Are you kidding me?
Look out, Braden Evans.
We got a shootout, baby.
The question becomes, are there enough workable light bulbs in the scoreboard tonight? Look at this. Evans starts it out on the right sideline and ends up to the left hash and housing this one. That is technically a passing touchdown.
Yes.
Because Evans was in front of the quarterback on the pitch. So it'll go as a touchdown pass for the quarterback, Goodman. And now an extra point away from tying this game is Swigert. Extra point is up. It is good. Boy, this has been fun to watch tonight. 21-21 with 6:01 to play here in the first half. Hey, if you're enjoying tonight's game, we'll help make sure the resources are available so that great games like these can be played forever by supporting the IHSAA Foundation. Go to IHSAAfoundation.org and make a tax-free contribution today. By the way, that was a rhetorical question why I said, are you enjoying tonight's game? If you're not enjoying tonight's game,
how could you not love this?
What's wrong with you?
That's right. How could you not love some offense?
Take up a different sport if you don't like this
it's
game.
not like one of those boring no-hitter type things that you sit there in the 90-degree sun and never see a hit ball. This is beautiful. I love a little offense tonight.
Boy, this has been fun. And this is just week 3, friends. Next week, we've got Avon at Brownsburg for our
baby
Champions Network game of the week. That is a backyard brawl.
That's another brawl.
Two schools, much like these two, that love to compete against one another.
These rivalries are the best. We got a packed house here tonight. There'll be one today wherever we're at in Avon and Brownsburg. That'll be great.
Touchback here off the foot of Swigert. Interesting thing is we've watched Swigert now on these kickoffs. He has just enough leg to get it to the goal line. I don't think if you ask him to kick it 3 yards deep, he could do it, but he can get it just to the goal line, which is, of course, in high school football, an automatic touchback. So I guess realistically that's all you need to do. Just get it to the goal line, and he has enough leg to do that. 21-21 is our score. 6:01 to play in what has been a very entertaining first half. And I thought you said it well earlier, Jan. This feels like a game that if you're the first team that blinks, a.k.a. doesn't score, you may be in trouble.
Or there's so much positive here. A little downside on the defensive side. You're going to have some questions at halftime from those coaches, guys. Guys, what do we got to do to stop these guys?
Moyers remains in at quarterback, although, again, it's been a great offensive play-called game for the Quakers as Gaddy has extra effort. It gives them a 15-yard gain. They've done a really good job of using the Wildcat formation. You know, they started the game with Ritter at quarterback. They've done a good job of mixing in the passing and the running game. It's been a really well-called game.
And you mentioned this earlier. It's not like you don't have some serious football people coaching these guys, because these guys all have been around the block a few times.
Well, you have Derek Moyers on your staff offensively for Plainfield, a former head coach at Pike. You see a little bit of that Pike influence, I think, anyway, here with Derek Moyers on the staff. They are an explosive offensive group.
Both teams.
Second down coming up here for Plainfield.
You just really never know what to expect. You look at the paper, and paper doesn't always speak to you the way sometimes these rivalry games will go, because you talked about it. Mooresville has really put up some serious points. Plainfield has put up points, but, boy, this offense has really been executing here early.
Burden made a man miss. Boy, that was a nice move with a tackler bearing down on him. Burden sidestepped the first tackler. Now he's going to be 2 yards, maybe 3 yards shy of a first down. Third down coming. We're under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Aiden Moyers, the sophomore QB, only 140 pounds. And he wants to pass, setting up the screen. Oh, and it's done perfectly. This is Ritter on the catch. First down and then some. He's into Mooresville territory, and a late flag comes flying. Only our second penalty of the game is about to be passed along to us here by our referee, Eric Lowe.
And, you know, it's the small things that really define good ball clubs. Moyer makes a move here, quarterback-wise. Let's get this call here, Rob, then I'll finish my thought.
A hold on the offense. Now, let's see here, Jen. This is a spot foul. This might still be a first down. By the time they walk it back 10 yards from the spot, it may still be enough yardage gained for a first down. Because that flag was thrown deep, and it is. So the flag was thrown deep into the secondary. By the time they walk off 10 yards, it is still a first down for Plainfield.
And Moyer's had success throwing that quick out, and this time he does a shoulder fake to look like he was going to do a quick out and then hits a guy on the numbers. Just little small things of perfection.
Up top and behind the defense, and that's a first down catch on a beautiful pass to Brigham West.
Man. What a show by these quarterbacks. I don't want to give them too big a head here, but boy, how can you not just keep talking about them, Rob? They are putting these balls right in the hands of the receivers.
And that was Brigham West. I apologize, I said West. It is West on that catch. And now they're inside of the 10, inside of the 5, diving for the goal line, and that ball was fumbled. It was fumbled, and it's a touchdown. Boy, some days things are just going your way. Just as he was reaching the goal line, Gaddia fumbled the ball, but it is fallen on by a Plainfield player. Let's see who fell on it. You see that ball popped out of there.
Just there at the end, you seen Plainfield did recover it.
I think that was Gage Henry. It was Gage Henry, number 16, who alertly fell on that football and scores a touchdown for Plainfield. Wow, what a play. Well, Plainfield is running them in for touchdowns, passing them in for touchdowns, and fumbling them in for touchdowns. 28-21, 4:15 to play in the second quarter on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
It's funny, Jan, I was thinking in the back of my mind as Plainfield took over that last possession, a turnover in this game may end up being the biggest difference in the game. And there was almost a turnover right there, but instead Plainfield recovers their own fumble for a touchdown.
Yeah, you're right. That's really been the first potential turnover. Well, no, we had one earlier, and it was recovered. Boy, Plainfield's got things going their way. But either a defensive stop or a turnover could really have an effect on this football game.
Nichols is going to kick this one out of bounds. Considering that Eineman is one of the deep men, the other one is Evans, that's maybe not a bad idea.
Yeah, you keep the ball away from him.
Just take the penalty by kicking it out of bounds. Well, Mooresville, it's your turn. They haven't disappointed yet. Every time Plainfield has scored, the Pioneers have answered right back with a touchdown. A Mooresville team that last year started 0-8. And then they got it figured out at the end of the season, finished 3-9, won 3 of their final 4 games.
Well, as we were driving here, we've seen some lightning and thought this one was going to be a wet one. So far, that's all holding off, and we have got a jam-packed stadium. That's the way high school football is supposed to be, in front of jam-packed stadiums.
Here's Goodman under center. He's going to play action and look to pass. And he's got his receiver. That's the first time they have hit the fullback / H-back out of the backfield. He's been in on a lot of possessions offensively. Blake Garrett is the name. But they haven't got him in football, but this time Garrett does get a chance to catch one.
Now, Rob, look, he's throwing this, and he throws off his back foot and still puts it right where he needs to. That's a really much more difficult throw. He made it look pretty easy.
Garrett is 5'8", 248 pounds, a tight end, fullback / H-back. Running play from Mabry. Oh, and he's not going to run out of the grip of the leading tackler for the Quakers. That is Jacob Platt, the 175-pound junior middle linebacker. What a play Platt made on that tackle there.
Yes, he did. This is a big-time play right here. You see Plainfield does a good job of standing him up, and Jacob Platt, the junior, makes a really big play here. Now that's going to be a 3rd and about 4, Rob. Let's see what's the playbook for the Pioneers.
Goodman is under the center. Looks to the flank. Throw and catch. That's Eineman. Oh, you don't want to miss on him. There goes Eineman. Boy, he's got some quick feet. He fumbled the football, and Plainfield falls on top of it. We were just talking about turnovers. Who is going to get one first? And guess who does? The Quakers. Owen Litzelman with a fumble recovery.
Well, you know, we talked about the humidity, and I got to think all these young men's shirts are probably soaked, so some moisture might be getting on this football, because now all of a sudden we're starting to see guys having a little struggle hanging on to this football. Now, he does get that thing out there a little bit. See that left arm kind of just going by itself? He's got to wrap that thing up.
2 takeaways on the season for Litzelman. He has an interception. Now he has a fumble recovery.
Boy, that's a big play for Mooresville, too. Now it's negated. Now all of a sudden, boy, look at the potential. If you're Plainfield, you could go up a couple scores here. So the defense for Mooresville's got their work cut out.
And remember, Mooresville gets the second half kickoff. That's why this becomes such a big possession here to end the first half. They're going to go up top. Oh, they just missed the receiver. Moyers missed it by maybe half of a stride, looking for BB down that left sideline.
And it looked like he's got a step on him here. He just maybe overthrows it by a coat of paint. Right. Oh, my word. You can't get any closer than that. But he threw it where only his receiver has a shot at it.
BB down that left sideline would have gone in untouched. Instead, it's 2nd and 10. They go right back to BB, and he has a 6-yard reception. Remember Don Beebe for the Buffalo Bills?
I do.
Wide receiver who is known probably most for his speed. He used to talk about him being the fastest guy on the team when he played for the Bills.
Now this, for me, for Mooresville, is maybe the biggest defensive play of the game. Can they get a stop here? If they can, they can. We'll see what happens.
They won't get a stop. Nope. Instead, it's a first down for Plainfield. Just a little quick slant route caught by Gage Henry, who was the hero on the last possession when he pounced on the fumble in the end zone. And we have an injured player from Mooresville that will stop play with 2 minutes and 14 seconds remaining.
You know, and I know you mentioned this, but I got to tell you, watching Moyer, he's just a sophomore. He don't look like no sophomore right now to me. He is flat out under control. His passes are dead spot on. He's given his receivers some room to get the football. I mean, wow. I mean, that's the things that seniors do, and he looks super comfortable running this team right now.
Adrian Jope is the injured player for Mooresville. They do not want to lose his services. He is their inside middle linebacker and is an awful good one. He is going to walk off the field. Looks like he's favoring that right arm. They most certainly do not want to lose him tonight. He is the backbone of that defense. It is 1st and 10 here for Plainfield.
You know, in the games that we have covered so far, you know, we have not seen, knock on wood, a lot of injuries at all. It's all been real clean. The hitting's been good, and that's what you really want.
Moyers from the shotgun wants to go for it all and overthrows his man, and there is a takeaway for Mooresville. Mabry, not only their starting tailback, but he just made a nice play defensively as well with the INT.
This is probably not going to hurt Plainfield a lot unless they can't contain Mooresville. This ends up being almost like a long punt, but he basically just says, hey, I'm going to throw one out there and see if he can run under it, and he does not. That one overthrown, but it really doesn't hurt Plainfield only from the perspective. You know, Mooresville still got some guys who can break some big plays. So if you're Plainfield, you can contain them, it works out. Mooresville, though, with a little less than 2 minutes, boy, they'd love to get some more points here before halftime.
Well, they gave it away, and then they have gotten it back. Now can the Pioneers do anything with it? Inside run to Mabry, who was the first back through and was given the football out to the 14-yard line.
Well, you're talking about players. Jacob Platt is either making the tackle or assisting on the tackle at all times. He has been impressive. He's just a junior, too. Look who makes the play here. From behind, Jacob Platt.
Platt wears number 40. 15 tackles coming into the game. 11 of those came against Tri-West. The middle linebacker for the red-clad Plainfield Ball Club. Reverse to Evans. He does have some running room. Gets bounced out of bounds on a strong collision over here on the near side. That does stop the clock with 1:07 remaining. A hard hit put on by Dorsett. But it is a first down gain for Mooresville.
Mooresville seals this left side. See the double team right here? Excellent job blocking, and that really gives him the room he needs to cut this one up.
Boy, this is such a big possession for Mooresville because they get the ball to start the third quarter. If they could score a touchdown here, they'd have a chance to take the lead to open the second half. That is up and well over the head of the intended receiver. That was Eineman.
Not much there that time. He kind of did.
He had Litzelman in coverage, but really neither player had a chance at it.
Yeah, he kind of tried to do the same thing that Moyer did earlier, just kind of throw it up there and see if his receiver could kind of run it down, and Plainfield would have none of that.
This is our Champions Network game of the week. Tonight in Plainfield. Mooresville and Plainfield conference game, mid-state conference opener for both teams. Mabry Jr. with a carry out to the 33-yard line. That time on the tackle was a guy wearing number 50. That is Ryan Kurt. And with 50 seconds remaining in the first half, timeout taken by Mooresville. That'll be their second charged timeout. One thing is consistent, things change. When they do, your insurance coverage should too. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance can help. Find agents in every Indiana county at infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, stop knocking on wood.
What a great sponsor, and boy, they got to be happy with what they're seeing on this TV tonight. Both teams laying it out on the line in this big conference battle. It's been really fun, a lot of points. Just a play here or there, still all have to go. Going to make the difference in this one.
So out of the timeout, Mooresville does get that clock stopped with 50.7 seconds remaining. And they are looking at a 3rd and 5. They set up the screen to the near side, and it's going to be enough for a first down. That was a nicely designed play for Kyler Evans. And a first down reception.
Rob, they just try to get the ball in his hands. Whatever it takes to find him in any way, shape, or form. Him and a couple other players, they got some nice speed, and they just try to create some one-on-ones and see if they can do their magic and break loose.
5'9", 155 pounds is Kyler Evans. He's a junior. And that play only took 5 seconds. 1st and 10 from their own 45 now. Here's another screen pass. This one's to Eineman. Last one was to the left side of the formation with Evans. This one's to the right side of the formation with Eineman, and it's a first down.
Well, Plainfield's playing a little bit deep right now. They're trying to protect the end zone, and they're giving a lot of room, and Mooresville's doing exactly what they need to do, is making those 10 yards undercover routes where they're staying in front of the zone.
Evans on the catch. Made a man miss. Down to the 25 and alertly steps out of bounds. Mooresville's caught on to something here with
Yes, they
Kyler
have.
Evans.
They took this ball with 1:48, and they have really moved the football, passing it mainly. Here's a nice stop and grab, comes back for the ball. That's great for the receivers. Still plenty of time, Rob.
Kyler Evans moving to the bottom of your screen. Keep an eye on him. There's number 6. He's been the targeted man here on this drive. Guess what?
That's a big catch.
Targeted him again.
Big catch. Wow.
And it stops the clock because it's a first down.
Absolutely, and you can understand why. He is super comfortable with Evans. I mean, he just knows if he gets the ball near him, he's going to make a catch.
And the Mooresville will take their final timeout. This is enough for a first down. Clock stops, but Mooresville wants to take a timeout anyway.
You see how much respect he's getting, Rob, from the Plainfield secondary? He's got so much speed that they don't dare come up, because if he gets that and they come up and miss, that he's gone.
Now think about this. You've got Evans to one side.
Yeah.
You've got Braden Evans on the other, and Eineman lining up in a slot. Man, that's 3 guys that can take it to the house anytime they touch it.
That's a great point. From the perspectives is who do you double team? You know, you can't double team everybody. So when you start as a quarterback reading one guy's getting a little more coverage than the other, then you can really move the football around. Those are great weapons to have.
It is 1st and 10. Now the ball is outside of the 10-yard line of the 12. So Mooresville could get a first down without scoring, although I doubt if they're thinking much about that. You'll have 20 seconds with which to work, and no timeouts here for Mooresville. So anything that's tackled in bounds, they're going to have to hurry up. Evans, touchdown,
automatic.
Mooresville. Wow.
He just putting on show. He is flat out got so much confidence. He's telling his quarterback, you get that ball close to me, I'm catching it.
The Kyler Evans drive, this drive.
They are flat out dialed in. Look, he throws this ball before he even turns around. That's the confidence of a quarterback to a receiver. And the defense is going, okay, what I got to do to stop this guy, because he is putting on a show.
Boy, what a huge touchdown from Mooresville. They not only score here, but now they'll get the ball to start the third quarter, which would mean they could take the lead for the first time tonight on the opening drive of the third quarter. Extra point up, good. Got it for Swigert. He hasn't missed an extra point tonight, and it's a 28-28 ball game. Last year, this game was a 54-14 final in favor of Plainfield. This game tonight, both teams might get to 54 points and then some. You look at my pregame notes that I put together for Kyler Evans, and I put a lot of notes about the defense he has played this year, his tackles, his interception, what he's been doing as a DB. Shame on me. Should have put in some notes about him as a wide receiver. He looked awfully good there.
I'm thinking no matter what he does or where he does it, he's probably going to be pretty good. He's one of those players that win championships for ball clubs, because he can do so many things, and you just try so hard, just get him the ball in some form or fashion. And then, sometimes you put him man-to-man coverage on defense. Those types of guys are so special. They come around every so often, and they are game changers.
Swigert to kick it off. We do still have 16 seconds to go here in this first half, which means probably 2 more touchdowns.
That's probably true.
He's going to squib this one. His leg might be getting tired, and it's out of bounds. Well, I say that jokingly, but remember at the end of the first quarter, we had only 5 seconds on the clock, and the touchdown was scored. Well, this ball goes out of bounds. That'll be a penalty, and we'll see at Plainfield. If I'm Plainfield, I certainly wouldn't be surprised if they took a couple shots here.
Why not? I mean, because, to your point, Mooresville gets the ball to start the second half. Anything you can do to help your cause here would certainly help your cause.
Let's see what Coach Woodard and Plainfield Quakers are going to do here. A lot of their guys that are on the sideline are walking towards the locker room, which leads me to believe they're going to take a knee. Remember, Mooresville has no timeouts. And they will take a knee, and that is how the first half will draw to a close. Well, if you like offense, you have picked the right game to watch. 28-28. The only thing that slows down these two teams, each of them has 1 turnover apiece. That's been it. 56 points scored in the first half between these two mid-state rivals. In the Mid-State Conference, lid lifter has lived up to expectations at least through the first 24 minutes. Halftime at Plainfield, it's 28-28, Plainfield versus Mooresville on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
This is old you. And this is now you. Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance agent, and now you can stop knocking on wood.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to IHSAAfoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
This is old you. And this is now you.
5 wears his fire hat and coat in the rain.
Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance agent, and now you can stop knocking on wood.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
It is 28-28. We are at halftime. Mooresville and Plainfield. Our IHSAA Champions Network Game of the Week, presented as it always is by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Rob Blackman, Big Jan Bozier here. Heath Shanahan's with us too, our producer. And boy, what a lot of fun we have had here in this first hour or so of this broadcast. My goodness, 56 total points. I'd like to show you most of them, so why not, huh? How about some first half highlights? If you see a lot of touchdowns, there's a good reason for that. There were a lot of touchdowns. This was the opening drive of the game for Plainfield. They go with a little trickery. Cade Ritter on the reverse throws a touchdown pass. That's the opening drive of the game for Plainfield, and that was Gage Henry on that receiving end of that catch. We'll mention Gage Henry again in a moment, so keep his name in the back of your mind. That made it 7-0. And then Mooresville drives right down the field. They answer as well. They give it to James Mabry Jr., who's no stranger to scoring touchdowns. That score right there, even everything, then up at 7 apiece. Guess what? Plainfield would come right back down the field, and they would score on their second possession. How about this nice play? Drifting out of the backfield. That was actually the tight end who started at the right side of the formation in Seth Weiniger. Then came across the formation to catch that pass on the left flank and score a touchdown. Plainfield had regained the lead at that point. 5 seconds later, though, Mooresville took the lead. Well, didn't take the lead, but took the matter into their own hands. John Eineman. This is the final play of the first quarter. 5 seconds to go in the quarter. They kicked it to Eineman, and he made him pay. Heineman down the left sideline for the touchdown. That equaled everything at 14 apiece. That was the final play of quarter number 1. So just when we thought we could catch our breath maybe in the second quarter, no, not happening. Plenty of touchdowns in the second half, in the second quarter, I should say, as well. Wildcat formation, and Gadia scores off taking the direct snap. Made it 21-14. That was early in the second quarter. Mooresville then came back to even the game at 21 apiece. And then guess what? Plainfield scored again. I know, hard to believe. Another touchdown. But look at the way this play happens. Gadia hit at the goal line. The ball is fumbled. And remember how I told you just a moment ago to not forget the name of number 8, Seth Weiniger? Sorry, not Weiniger. That was young man that fell in that football. Gage Henry. I totally drew a blank right there. Gage Henry. He fell on that football for the score. That was their 4th touchdown in the first half. Made it 28-21. But then final seconds here of the first half. This is a huge score for Mooresville as they come back and hit the receiver on the near side right there at the pylon. Kyler Evans, who made it 28-28. That is basically how the first half ended. And that is a huge touchdown because Mooresville now gets the ball back to start the second half, and that'll be Mooresville's first opportunity to actually have a lead in this game if they can go down and score. Both teams have had one turnover in the first half. Mooresville had a fumble recovery, that they lost, and Plainfield has thrown an interception. Outside of that, the two offenses have basically been unstoppable. 28-28, that is our score halftime here in Plainfield on our IHSAA Champions Network. Game of the Week brought to you by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. We will take a break. When we come back, Jan Bozier has all the scores from around the state of Indiana. Well, not all of them. That would take too long. But most of the significant ones he's going to give you when we come back. So stick around for that. 28-28, Mooresville and Plainfield right here on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
This is old you. And this is now you. Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance agent, and now you can stop knocking on wood.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to IHSAAfoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
This is old you. And this is now you.
5 wears his fire hat and coat in the rain.
Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance agent, and now you can stop knocking on wood.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Back here at Plainfield High School at halftime, it's the Plainfield Quakers 28 and the Mooresville Pioneers 28. You may be hearing the marching Quaker band in the background. They are an excellent, excellent band. It's time now for our scoreboard show. Let's take a look at some scores around the state, and this first one is of big interest because we will be seeing this same Avon Ball Club next week at Brownsburg, and tonight they're playing the Southeastern Royals, and Avon leads 16-6. That's in the second period. Oak Hill leads Blackford 14-7. Here's a big mixed score. Center Grove, who a team we seen last week against New Pal, putting it on Carmel here early. A little bit of a shocker, 10-0 at halftime. You knew Center Grove was going to get better as time went on because Carmel has played incredibly well. So we'll keep our eyes on that score as the night progresses. Columbus East 35, Seymour 0. Decatur Central, who just really playing well right now, 17-7, and that's a big score to both of these ball clubs in this conference. It's Decatur Central 17, Whiteland 7, and that game is at halftime. Here's a game from the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. Noblesville travels to Fishers, and right now it's the Tigers leading in the second period 6-0 over the Noblesville Millers. Franklin playing Perry Meridian leads 14-7. That's Franklin 14, Perry Meridian 7. Here's another score of interest around this area. It's Martinsville, the Artesians 15, and Greenwood 8. That game is in the second period. A big battle of the Lawrences tonight. Lawrence Central takes on Lawrence North, and right now in the first period it's Lawrence Central by just a field goal. 3 for Lawrence Central and 0 for Lawrence North. It's Muncie Central 6, Anderson 0. The Arabians of Pendleton Heights 14, the Newcastle Trojans 0. That score in the second period. A game of interest for me is this big game. North Central just continues to get better. Well, they're playing number 1 Warren Central tonight. Don't have a score on that game, but really we'll see how North Central does against number 1 Warren Central as the night progresses. Of course, our score here at halftime, Mooresville and Plainfield all tied up at 28 apiece. And some other scores around the state. It's Manual 7, Washington 6. How about this score? Hoosier Crossroads, Westville 20, Zionsville 7. That game is at halftime. A little bit of a surprise there. And that is our score as we have them here at halftime. We still have a little less than 3 minutes left in halftime. You are watching the game of the week here on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. We'll be back after this timeout.
This is old you. And this is now you. Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent, and now you can stop knocking on wood.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to IHSAAfoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
This is old you. And this is Now You.
5 wears his fire hat and coat in the rain.
Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent. And now you can stop knocking on wood.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Back here at Plainfield High School, we are getting closer and closer to the start of the second half. We hope the second half was half as entertaining as the first half. 28-28 is our halftime score. Rob Blackman here with Jan Bozier. Producer-director Heath Shanahan. JC is the cameraman. We're so happy to have you with us. All right, so we're 2 weeks, well now technically, Jan, 2.5 weeks into the Indiana high school football season. Anything surprised you?
Well,
in these first couple of weeks of Indiana high school football?
I don't know if it surprises me, but what I see is maybe with the exception of Warren Central, who just appears to be heads and tails, maybe above everybody, at least so far. A lot of parity in all these, the MIC, the Hoosier Crossroads, this conference. You look at the MIC, maybe if not the most powerful conference in Indiana, from top to bottom, you can't sleep on anybody now. Hoosier Crossroads, who do you sleep on now? Everybody is getting better, and in this conference here, if you look at Decatur Central, really off to a great start. Martinsville won last week. We see how good Mooresville is. Whiteland's 2-0. Greenwood's pretty good. Plainfield, we're seeing them tonight. And perhaps really the only team struggle a little bit is Perry Meridian, and certainly hopefully they'll get better. But really from top to bottom, at least in these conferences and others, a lot of parity.
Yeah. Maybe the only place we might, and there's a big might, it's only week 2, we might not see any parity is possibly in 5A football. After watching New Pal last
word,
Friday,
that's a great point.
Holy mackerel,
how
they
can
good.
I not say enough words about that? Over 20,000 people had interest in that game and watched it. Those are numbers that are unheard of. Of course, Rob, they got to hear you, which is always exciting.
Yeah.
But how about that game? I mean, you just go, you knew New Pal was good. They're going against one of the giants in Center Grove. Center Grove they had a lot of rebuilding. This is a very good Center Grove ball club who now leads undefeated Carmel 10-0. So you put things in perspective.
Yeah.
But what a job Coach Ralph has done at New Pal. Words can't explain what he's done for that program.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun to watch last Friday night. This has been a lot of fun to watch tonight, at least the first half anyway. Let's see where the second half takes us. Again, we talked so much about what a big final possession of the first half that was for Mooresville to score, because they've evened the game at 28 apiece, and now they have a chance to get the first possession of the second half. Nichols will do the kicking off here, and boy, that's just a little bit of a squibber. And they've got some running room, and what a nice job of just lowering the shoulder, barreling ahead, getting all the way out to the 48-yard line, maybe the 49, not quite. Actually, that was Braden Evans. They tried to squib kick it, and unfortunately, they kicked it right to Evans. I suppose if you're a Mooresville fan, you're saying, yes, we were fortunate that Evans got his hands on that ball. So here we go, 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. That's how Mooresville opens the third quarter.
Well, I can tell you can see in the picture the sun has certainly went down. It's 76 degrees, but I got to tell you, that humidity is thick still.
Here's Goodman, the quarterback. Turning and handing to Mabry, and Mabry has a first down run, I think. If not, he's a half-yard shy.
Boy, that was a big productive run on first down. It looked like he come up hobbling on just a little bit, and it may look like there at the end he almost may have no, it looked like for a second he may have fumbled, but he did not. It looked like he hit that knee on the turf pretty hard.
And they did not give him enough for a first down. They just shy, a half of a yard, maybe not even that.
He got to as close to a first down as you can get without getting it.
So Mabry goes out of the game, and in comes the backup running back that is Green. They're going to pass on second and short. They got a receiver wide open and incomplete.
Oh.
The ball was thrown in the direction of Eineman. The problem was Evans was the wide open receiver on the sideline.
And he knows it too. He had 3 steps on his. But the problem with him, he's got so much breakaway speed. When this ball was thrown, he hadn't made that much separation until after the ball was thrown. But he was wide open.
Not surprised that they took a shot on second and short. Mike Gillen, the veteran head coach, third all-time in the state among current head coaches that are in the business. Well, Mabry's back on the field, and he's doing what Mabry does best, finding room on the outside. A first down run as Mabry is back into the game and immediately gives them dividends with a first down run.
Single running back formation and basically send 9 other guys just to block for him. Try to play some power football, running the football.
Put that ball at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10. Goodman hands to Mabry. He is stacked up right away. Boy, a good push, and then he breaks out of it. Somehow Mabry broke out of the pile. He's going down the left sideline. Touchdown, Mooresville. I don't know how he got out of there. Houdini. James Mabry. Touchdown, Pioneers. They lead.
I'm like you. I thought this play was over. And nobody brings him down. He stays on his feet, stays pumping. He's in the middle of a scrum, and all of a sudden, boom, he's out. Nobody brings him down. What a wild, wild play.
And for the first time tonight, the Pioneers of Mooresville have taken the lead. 34-28, trying to make it 35. Swigert's kick is up and good. Well, you want to see a magic trick on a Friday night? Here's one. Let's watch again closely. And just like a real magic trick, I still have no idea how he did it. How in the world did James Mabry Jr. get out of there?
That's one of those weird plays where Plainfield kind of had him. You know, they had him dead to right, and he was centered, but nobody wraps him, bring him down, and he kind of escaped out of a little bit of a huddle there, and next thing you know, we haven't touched it. Is there anything we haven't seen yet?
I'm not sure. A opening touchdown in the first quarter for Mooresville from Mabry, an opening touchdown in the third quarter from Mabry. Hey, better educated coaches produce better athletes. You can help them give high school coaches the training they need by contributing to the IHSAA Foundation. Make your tax-free contribution today at IHSAAFoundation.org. Well, 1 minute into the third quarter, Mooresville is on the scoreboard again. Now can Plainfield answer? This bouncing ball is picked up at the 10-yard line. And a penalty flag is thrown. Advanced to the 15, but that's where the flag came in.
We talked about coming into this ball game, the hot ball club of Mooresville, 2-0 for the first time in over 3 years. But kind of as you lay it down on paper, you look at this 5A ball club in Plainfield and the difficulty they started out with Avon, who we'll see next week, who's dynamite, and then the big win over Tri-West, and then they have to come to Plainfield. You kind of felt like, at least I did, there's the edge may be on Plainfield's side. And as of right now, Mooresville's going, no, not necessarily.
That was a holding penalty on the return team. So Plainfield, really for the first time tonight, starts with poor field position. 1st and 10 from their own 10. And it's toss sweep trying to get outside on the left flank. That is Ritter. And he does do just that. Boy, what a nice, and Ritter delivers a blow and then is pushed out of bounds at the last second. They right in front of that Plainfield bench, they thought that should have been a late hit on Gavin Evans. It was not flagged.
Never a great place to have a little bit of a disagreement in front of the other team's sidelines.
Boy, watch Ritter deliver a blow.
That was two guys, in my opinion, just breaking it up here a little bit.
Right.
That's a good no
Playing
call.
A little football.
Yep. I got to tell you, folks, believe it or not, this is a contact sport, and these guys know it, and they're playing it hard. I love it.
16-yard run.
It's meant to play hard.
And now the ball carrier is Gadia, who was so busy in the first half.
You don't play hard. It's never fun on Monday or sometimes Saturday if you don't play hard. So it's in your best interest as a player to give it everything you have. Sometimes you'll make mistakes. Sometimes you'll make a little bit of a late hit. But lean on the side of being tough and aggressive.
2nd and 7 after the run by Gadia. Wildcat formation. Gadia now the quarterback. Ritter wants to pass, and instead he's going to tuck it and run it. Ritter made a good decision. That was going to be a trick play, a pass, and Ritter wisely saw that there was no passing lane, so he just tucked the ball and ran for a first down. And then tack on an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Now, I did not see that one, fans, but the flag came late.
Well, here's what officials do a lot of times, and it may be coincidental, it may not. The official's seen the little bit of a skirmish on the play before, kind of let it go. Now he's going, okay, guys, that's enough. You know, everybody, when this whistle blows, you all stop, and that's good officiating because you don't want to deter the game, but you don't want it to get out of hand either.
Well, that ends up being such a huge penalty. You tack it on to the end of the run. And now Plainfield's in business again. They start with the ball here, snapping it from the 43-yard line of Mooresville after the walk-off. And this is Ritter carrying. And now they'll bring the quarterback into the game. So we saw this in the first half. Moyer's not always into the game taking snaps at QB. Sometimes Ritter taking the snaps, sometimes Gadia in a Wildcat formation.
You know what this does? As a defensive coordinator, it makes you practice for everything, and that's tough. All the different formations and personnel.
Moyers has to sidestep one would-be defender and then finds his wide receiver out there on the flank, and that is caught by Weiniger, but there is a penalty flag on the field. Seth Weiniger did make the catch.
You know, it was a pretty clean game throughout that first half, and now all of a sudden back-to-back flags. Illegal lineman downfield is the call.
Would have been a first down, but the key word there is would have been. Would have the conjunction, I should say, for our English majors listening.
That's not me.
See, I knew I could get away with it with you.
Leave me out of that.
And then
group.
I thought, well, there might actually be some educated.
I can do math, but
English.
Leave
English majors listening, so I better get this.
And there are.
I better get
Trust
this right.
me, there are.
2nd and 9. They'll go back to the air, and there's a throw and a catch, and now this will be, I say it'll be a first down, but wait, because another flag thrown.
Oh my, that's 3 in a row.
That one was thrown in the linebacker area.
Ineligible receiver down.
Weist made the catch. Is that what it was?
Yeah, twice in a row.
You're right. Boy, 2 in a row there.
Trust me. Any call that has to do with a lineman and a problem and a penalty, I have them all memorized. Now, all the rest of the calls I may not get, but when a lineman goes downfield and he's not supposed to, I'm pretty familiar with that penalty.
Well, twice Plainfield has thought they had first downs.
Yeah, they're not going to like that at all.
Both times ineligible, receiver downfield. Let's try again. They want to pass again. Moyer's sprinting out left. Letting it fly. Good defense.
That is super defense.
Broken up over there. The Mooresville defender wears number 13. His name is Braden Evans.
Yep.
We've talked a lot about him tonight as a wide receiver. Here he makes a great play as a DB.
Can he play both sides of the fields, Rob? I think so. Look at this timing here. That's just, see how quick he recovers to the ball? He knew exactly where it was. The key there, his eyes were on the football. Timed it perfectly after the release.
Now 3rd down, 3rd and long at 3rd and 14.
But now, how about these penalties, Rob? They have really stymied Plainfield, and they've got themselves in a 3rd and long. Let's see if they can find a way to get out of this.
Play clock is down to 1. They better hurry. They barely get the snap off in time. They do turn and hand it to Taven Gadia, but he will not nearly have enough yardage for a first down. My goodness, might we see a punt team on the field for the first time tonight? Let's see what Plainfield will do on what's going to be 4th and 8.
Well, there's a lot in this decision. 4th and about 8. You're already down. Do you want to give it to a red-hot offense? What do you want to do here? This is where they make the money.
You're now trailing by a touchdown. And Plainfield says we're going to go for it. 4th and long for Moyers. Catch made. Not going to be nearly enough. The defense could not have been any better. The tackle made by Newkirk, Augie Newkirk, just as that reception was being made by Gaddia. The bad news for Newkirk, he's still on the field. He looks to be injured, but what a play by Newkirk to save the first down from happening.
The play somewhat developed, just a little bit slow, a little bit late, and they didn't get it over there in near enough time for him to get a one-on-one scenario, and so it was defended, as you called, just perfectly, and now it looks like we've got a man down.
Yeah, that's Augie Newkirk. He's the man that made the tackle.
Looked like he grabbed his leg. Don't know. Not going to speculate here.
Gaddia with that catch, but as Gaddia was trying to turn his shoulders and get upfield, Newkirk hopped on him immediately and then just wrestled him down to the ground. Newkirk is a senior, 6 foot, 178 pounds. And he is still down on the field with 8:31 remaining. Now, this is such a huge play because you've given the ball right back to Mooresville. Yes. The Pioneers already have a 7-point lead. And now they got a chance to add to that advantage.
Well, he's up and moving around. Let's hope he can shake this thing off. They certainly don't want to lose a player of his caliber, the senior. Very key, instrumental on this defensive side. He looks like he's trying to shake it off, and let's hope for the best here. At least he's up walking around a little bit.
Well, if you're Plainfield, now this is my opinion, Jan, you can agree or disagree. I don't feel like you can fall behind by 2 touchdowns if you're Plainfield.
No. At least if you do, you've really hurt your chances. They can score pretty quick too, but as of right now, neither team has really stopped the other team, and so it's not going to be easy for sure. And you're right, you would have to dig yourself out of the biggest hole that you would have created so far. And let's face it, Rob, Mooresville knows that too. This may be as big a possession as they've had all game.
Mabry on the carry, got his legs cut out from underneath him as Plainfield's Derek Keller came in and sliced him down. It just feels like if you got 2 touchdowns ahead in this game tonight, no one's catching you. No matter which team it happens to be, if you get a 2-touchdown lead, right, no one's going to catch you.
I completely agree. Both athletes, both very athletic on offense, both quarterbacks putting on shows, receivers making big plays. And it's not, and both defenses were relatively young coming in even to this year, but they haven't played bad. The offenses are just really in great rhythm right now.
Goodman fakes to Mabry. Out of the flat. There's that H-back. Only the second time tonight we've called his name. We mentioned the fact that they don't give him the ball a lot, he being Blake Garrett. But Garrett with nice hands there on a gain that will make it 3rd and 2.
Now, Rob, here's my question as a defensive guy. How much do you take risk here if you're Plainfield? You're down. You've really not stopped Mooresville. Do you want to blitz a little more here, try to do something to create something? Let's see what they do.
Well, Carson Goodman stepping in under center, handing to Mabry, who's trying to push the pile ahead, and guess what? He broke out of it again. Now this time he doesn't break out for a touchdown. That's because Jacob Platt was the last man with a chance to get him, and Platt got him tackled. But it is a first down run for Mabry.
And Mooresville is just going to keep pounding the football until Plainfield stops. And what they're creating here continually puts these linebackers in Plainfield in somewhat of a guessing game, Rob, because they're going to keep sneaking up a little bit to try to stop that run. And if you're not careful, Mooresville put one over your head. See where the linebackers for Plainfield are? Literally about 2.5, 3 yards off the football.
Mabry is subbed out of the game.
There you go.
The new deep back is Green. He does have a chance to carry the ball, but gains only 1 yard.
And that's much better defense that time defending the run but it was at the price of the linebackers really coming up less than 2 yards off the football. Now we'll have a very interesting down. If you're Mooresville, Rob, second and long, you maybe take a look at a long one here because you've already got this Plainfield defense really starting to collapse. Let's see how both teams handle this. Really kind of an interesting down here.
I'm looking for Kyler Evans, and I see him at the top of the screen. Let's see if Goodman's looking for him.
Yep, here's the pass. Just as I thought might happen.
Well, he looked the other Evans direction. Not that that's a bad decision. Braden Evans, but it's incomplete, and now it's 3rd and 9.
He was open for a second. The ball was not well thrown this time. Pretty well covered, but I kind of thought they might think about that. You got a couple looks here. Can you get something open there? And now they've got 3rd and long. Good defense that time by the Quakers.
Well, big 3rd down here. Without question for Plainfield. You would love to have an opportunity to get the ball back. Again, trailing by only 1 touchdown. I know it's only midway through the 3rd quarter. But this feels like a huge 3rd down here. Goodman to throw, and he underthrew the receiver. Evans was open.
Yes, he was.
In the teeth of the defense, but the ball was thrown behind him and low, and that will make it 4th down.
And that was uncharacteristic of him. 2 throws now that have really kind of been off the mark a little bit.
Are we going to see a punt team step onto the field? Swigert is the punter, typically.
Goodman, for the most part, has really been on his game here throughout this ball game.
But it's, sorry, Jan, but it's Eineman who's lining up as the punter.
But those 2 throws were not good.
So no Schweigert here, instead Eineman, which I would be worried of a fake if they're snapping it to Eineman, but he will punt it away. Eineman does punt the football away, and it's going to take a very friendly Mooresville bounce inside of the 10, inside of the 5, and out at the 1.5-yard line.
You can't get better execution than that, punting the football.
Well, Eineman delivers a beauty of a punt. Not only does he have a punt return for a touchdown this year, he also shows he can punt it himself. That ball, they say, officially did roll out at the 2.5-yard line. Nose of the football really just shy of the 3. So Plainfield's got a long way to go if they want to tie this game.
I mean, but the good news for Plainfield is that defense got them a stop. Now they got their backs against the wall deep in their own territory. But you got, now if you're the Plainfield offense, you've got to produce. 5:45 left in this 3rd.
And they go right to the Wildcat formation. Gaddy took the direct snap, has a tailback, and took the ball out to the 9-yard line. Right now the quarterback Moyers is not in the game, Aiden Moyers. But that is not uncommon if you're just joining us. Tonight Plainfield has run a lot of plays without Moyers in the game. Direct snapping to the tailback, as they will do here. He will fake it to Ritter. And Gaddy will try to bust it up in there. His helmet actually came off. Tackled in there by Jackson Clem of Mooresville, number 7.
You'll have to come out of the game if your helmet comes off for one play.
So he's coming out. There is a flag, however. Now, if this is a penalty, he can stay in the game. If his helmet was removed by penalty,
that's correct.
He can stay in the game. Let's see. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's a great call. If it's off because of a face mask, you don't have to come out of the game. That's a great call, Rob. It's exactly why the helmet came off.
So tack on an extra 15, and that's an automatic 1st down. They would have had him 3rd and medium.
That's a huge penalty, and it gets Plainfield out of that deep territory, opens the playbook, gives them some room to maneuver here.
They're going to stay in the same offensive set with Gaddia at the tailback and snapping the ball directly to him. Fakes to Ritter, same play basically. There goes Gaddia. Boy, what a strong run. He lowered the shoulder and ran over Gavin Evans. Evans eventually did make the tackle. It's a gain of 10. 1st and 10.
It's a big 1st down. He's a big boy. And he does not make himself go down easy at all. And those runners are so frustrating on that defensive side because you just think if you hit a runner, you ought to go down. Well, not here.
And a timeout has just been called by Mooresville. And I think this is a good timeout. Look, Plainfield is not doing anything fancy right now. They are snapping the ball directly to the tailback and having Gaddia run right between the tackles. They're just basically bypassing the quarterback part of the play. Who needs a quarterback? Let's just snap it right to the tailback and let him go. We'll bypass one of the pieces of this puzzle. And it's working right now for Plainfield. That's why Mike Gillen takes a timeout from Mooresville to try to correct the problem. Because right now, defensively, it is a problem for the Pioneers. Is that you and with your cell phone group of groupies over there, Jan?
That's pretty cool. I don't think. Is that cell phones?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it is.
Yeah, cell phones these days have flashlights on them.
Well, mine
there,
does too,
Grandpa.
but mine not that bright. Or maybe I just can't see. I don't know. One of the
you just
two.
can't see,
yeah,
actually.
It could be, but
it is that bright.
It
you
is
just
that
can't
bright.
see
I
it.
guess you're right.
Same offensive formation. Basically the same play. And not quite the same result, but darn close. It'll be 2nd and 3 after that 7-yard run. Gaddia seems to be getting stronger as the game goes on.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. They're just power football. I mean, nothing, you said it, nothing fancy here. They're just getting the line. Then they had 2 more blockers in front of him, and it's just power football. Here we come. You stop us. Same thing again.
And another first down run. You know what I like about this, Jan? So often coaches can outsmart themselves,
Yes,
right?
sir.
They just try to be too cute. Right now, Plainfield's not being cute at all.
No.
Hey, here we come. See if you can stop us.
And if your guys are blocking better than our guys, you just keep running the same play. Why change?
Right. Now, they have brought the quarterback back in now. Moyers does re-enter the game.
Well, the reason for this. This plays into the fact somewhat the other way around a while ago. Plainfield has the linebackers of Mooresville thinking run, run, run. Now here's run again. Good stop.
The luxury of having a back like Burden, you can bring him into the game, and he can immediately pay dividends for you. Tackle made in there by Oldham, Dominic Oldham, 210-pounder who wears number 9.
And, Rob, the good news is for Mooresville's fans, guess who's back in the ball game? Newkirk, he's back in there. That's good news for them.
Burden lowering the shoulder, falling forward.
You see him at the top of your screen there, the number 37. That's a player. You get out, as long as there's nothing structurally, you got to play through it. You're going to get dinged. You just are, and your desire says, man, I want to get back in there, and he's a tough kid. Good for him.
Now Ritter in at quarterback for a direct snap here. Ritter takes the snap. This is a quarterback sweep all the way. He has the first down. And now a little bit more. He's inside of the 20. Gets caught from behind to save a touchdown by Jackson Clem. But a first down run by Cade Ritter.
Well, they're using this 2-quarterback system as well as anybody I've seen it. They are flat out keeping this defense guessing, and you can see the strengths of both quarterback. This one clearly runs incredibly well. Moyer, the little bit better passer, but it's not like he can't pass because he's shown us on that reverse that he could pass. So they're really using these 2 quarterbacks to their advantage and just mixing it all up.
Under 2.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Plainfield driving, trying to tie the score. Ritter, again, direct snap to him. He's got running room. He's looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Cade Ritter. And the Quakers are right back in the ball game.
Boy, just power football. Well, you got to give that front line for Plainfield tons of credit on that series. They just powered in the running game.
John Minton, the offensive line coach for Plainfield. His troops getting it done up front. You saw that ball come out, but after he had crossed the goal line, the official on the play immediately indicating that it was a touchdown and not a fumble. Extra point is up. It is good by Nichols, and it is 35-35 with 2:12 to play in the third quarter. What a game we got for you tonight on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Mooresville, in this third quarter, had taken their first lead of the game at 35-28, and Plainfield answers right back. The touchdown run by Cade Ritter has evened this game at 35 apiece, and we still got a long way to go,
Yes,
friends.
we
2:12 to play in the third quarter.
You know, we talked a lot about both of these teams in the same conference, but obviously Class 4A, Class 5A, of course, Mooresville in that sectional 22, Richmond, Newcastle, Beech Grove, Greenwood, Shelbyville, Mount Vernon, Connorsville. That's a big sectional.
Little directional kick, a pop-up kick. And guess who fielded that ball?
He sure did.
We were just talking about Newkirk. You were just talking about the fact he'd come back into the game off of injury. And he fields that ball, and boy, he doesn't look any worse for the wear on that return.
And how about this Plainfield sectional 13, Decatur Central, Cathedral, Plainfield, Roncalli, and Tech.
That's unfair.
That's
just unfair.
That is. Plainfield has historically always played. I believe Zionsville years ago used to be in that mix, and that has always been just a rugged sectional to get out of.
Well, Jan, Plainfield's only won one sectional. That was in 2000.
That's right.
That was the year they went all the way to the state finals, got beat by East Noble.
And it's not because they haven't had some really good teams.
Exactly.
That's a sectional is just unbelievable.
Mabry trying to turn the corner, not going to get it done. Oh, the defense was ready to make a play there for Plainfield. Yeah, you look at Plainfield, they say, oh, well, they're not very good in football. They've only won one sectional. Well, no, they're good in football. The problem is their sectional is such a bear.
And consider how many state champions during that time did Cathedral win through that sectional before the success factor kicked in.
Second down and 12, one of the few negative plays we've seen by either team in this game. Goodman to throw. They're setting up the screen. They throw it to Mabry, trying to get all that yardage back and then some, and he does do that. Oh, he is fun to watch. Mabry is so fun to watch, all the way to the 32-yard line of Plainfield for a first down.
Boy, I don't know if we're out of words yet or not, but both these offenses just have playmakers. Key here again is the offensive line still gives plenty of time for this, if you will, screen pass. And boy, the runs after the catch, incredibly high on Mooresville and Plainfield side for that matter.
Under 1 minute remaining, third quarter. They turn and hand to Mabry again. Here he goes. Inside of the 10, down to the 7. Well, I don't think Mabry looks like he's getting tired at all. I think he's getting fresher.
You're exactly right. You know, you've seen those players, high school and college. Now, I will make a little bit of a critical point here. Plainfield really tried to tackle him high here, and that got him in trouble. They had an opportunity and missed him, and he is not a young man you're going to bring down by tackling high.
It is first and goal now from the 8-yard line for Mooresville, trying to score before the third quarter is over.
You're right. He seems to just get stronger as he runs.
They're going to give it to him again. Oh, no, they brought in a new tailback who's going to get down to the 1-yard line and then got bounced out of there. I thought he was going to find his way in there. He being Green, the sophomore, who's giving Mabry a break right now. But right when he got to the 1-yard line, he got stood up and could not score.
But this is a great job of running because I think this was supposed to be an isolation up the middle, and there was just flat out nothing there. And then he just breaks outside and finds running room, and here's the Pioneers knocking on the door again.
I'm not so certain that wasn't Vanderbush, Cale Vanderbush, a freshman DB who actually stood him up at the goal line and pushed him backwards. That ends up being a huge play, at least for the time being, because it keeps them out of the end zone.
This is a team in Mooresville that, after 2 games, averaging 37 points a ball game for 2, and they're at 35 right now and knocking on the door. We knew they had the potential to score points.
We have a stoppage in play because we wanted to reset the game clock. It had ticked down to 4 seconds, about 4.5, and now they have readjusted it to 13 seconds. 13 seconds to go in the third quarter. Second down and goal just outside of the 1 yard line here for Mooresville. They've got a full house backfield here. They'll give it to Mabry. Behind a couple of lead blockers, he finds his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Mooresville. And the Pioneers retake the lead.
Wow. How many touchdowns now from Mabry? That's number 3.
714, I think. It is 3, but it feels like 700.
Yeah, it feels like a ton. Oh, wow. What a show.
If you like good running back play, you picked a good game, fans.
Yes, you did. Mother
Because
Nature has held off for us.
Yep. And Gaddy has been really good tonight for Plainfield. Mabry has been really good tonight for Mooresville. And it's now 42-35 after the extra point is up and good by Swigert. We still have 7.6 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Remember, at the end of the first quarter, we had 5 seconds left, and we had a touchdown scored on a kickoff return. See what will happen here with 7.6 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
You know what we have now, Rob? We got a lot of pressure on these extra point guys.
Good point.
They're
Great
in a
point.
rhythm right now, but all it takes is one missed extra point. I don't want to jinx anybody. But
Well, here I will just give you the hard numbers, and then you can run with it however you'd like, friends. Swigert has missed 3 extra points this year, but all 3 came before tonight. He's been perfect tonight. Nichols has missed 1 extra point this season, but again, it's not been tonight, so both have been perfect tonight. Back and forth we go. Last year, 54 points scored by Plainfield in the victory over Mooresville. Both teams might be headed to 54 tonight. As Swigert will kick it away. This one is kicked deep. Oh, and the kick return man stumbled, but he was able to get up and pick the ball up, and he's going to be tackled at the 1 yard line. Wow. What a play in the special teams made by number 20, Caden Napier, the sophomore.
Well, he gets himself in a little bit of trouble because he slips right there. Then that allows the Pioneers to really get a head start, and he's fortunate he was able to get that thing at the 1.
And that was Clem. I beg your pardon. That was Clem, number 7, Jackson Clem, who made that tackle at the 1 yard line with 1.3 seconds remaining. And Plainfield is now 99 yards away from tying the game.
And Rob, real quickly, an upset in the making. The Lawrence is battling it out in the fourth period. Lawrence North leads Lawrence Central 14-12.
No quarterback on the field right now for Plainfield. And now what do we have? Timeout taken? Yeah, boy, that's a bit odd there, unless they didn't have the right personnel on the field. But Mooresville has just burned their second timeout with 1.3 seconds to go in the third, and all the momentum on the favor, of Mooresville. They've got Plainfield backed up to the 1 yard line, so I'm not sure why the timeout was taken. Unless, and again, I'm just assuming maybe they didn't have enough players on the field or the wrong personnel on the field. But everything is favoring Mooresville right now.
Yeah. And now this deep field position has not helped their cause at all. And the other problem is both teams, Rob, when they get on offense, is eating a lot of clock up. So you're only going to get so many possessions left. So now the pressure just continues to mount for you offensively to have to produce.
Again, no true quarterback coming out in Moyers. Instead, Ritter standing back there.
Yeah, it's a different
with Gaddia.
Run. You're gonna protect the football here and just try to get out of here.
We'll snap it directly to Ritter. And he's going to run. This is just a true running play all the way.
I think he hurdled his right guard.
And he was doing so in the arms of Dominic Oldham, who was holding tightly.
I got to tell you, that's a nifty move, but the last thing you want to do as a runner is to leave your feet. That's a knee waiting to happen. He gets away with it, and that's all he cares about.
12 minutes remaining. Catch your breath, because I got to finish. It's a sprint. I got an idea. It's a sprint to the finish. Mooresville, Plainfield, tonight on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
This is Old U. And this is Now You. Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent, and now you can stop knocking on wood.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to IHSAAFoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Next week, we're at Brownsburg, Avon Brownsburg. That should be a dandy. Although it's going to be hard to top this one. 42-35, we go to the fourth quarter. Plainfield with the ball, and the Quakers trailing by 7. Second and 7. And that ball popped out. It's loose. Picked up by Mooresville. Mabry scores a touchdown on defense.
Unbelievable.
How about the game Mabry is having? Watch him scoop and score. Mabry tonight, Jan Bozier, has 3 rushing touchdowns, an interception, and now a fumble recovery for a touchdown. If you're making your pick for player of the week, you might want to start with James Mabry Jr. Oh, that is a big turnover, because now the lead is at 2 touchdowns as the extra point by Swigert is up and good. It's 49-35, and I said it in the third quarter, I'll say it again. In this game, it just feels like if you get a 2-touchdown lead, you're not going to be caught. I might be wrong.
No,
the boy sure feels that way.
Well, one thing's for sure, they sure have their work cut out for them.
James Mabry Jr. doing it on offense and defense tonight. When things in your life change, your insurance should too. Luckily, an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent can help to see if you're covered for life's constant changes. Find a local agent at infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, stop knocking on wood.
Not been a lot of mistakes in this game, a few, but maybe none bigger than the fumble right there. The turnover really now puts Plainfield with their backs against the wall. Rob, I think you got to say this possession offensively has got to be close to a must score.
Each team had a turnover in the first half. That is our second turnover, or I beg your pardon, that is our first turnover of the second half. That was what I'm trying to say. But that one leads directly to points. Mabry Jr. on the scoop and score. And now it's a 14-point lead for the Pioneers. Remember, this was a bit of an adventure last time.
Yep.
But this ball gets kicked through the back of the end zone, so there'll be no starting from the 1 yard, this 1 yard line. Plainfield's going to have it from their own 20, but they got to get in full gear now as they trail by 2 touchdowns.
And there is somewhat of a win. He kicked with the win. It's not a major win, but it's certainly with him. Then Plainfield will be going into the win. So although I say it's not real strong, it certainly is there. Actually, it feels incredibly good. It can pick up another 30 miles an hour for my cause because, man, does it feel good.
I'm with you. I'll take that nice cool breeze.
Yes, sir.
Well, this, what is the final night in August? Can you believe it? August 30, the 31st? Here's a run-pass option. They decide to pass. That's a wrestle for the ball. Who's got it? Who's got it? Intercepted.
Oh, defense gets
intercepted. They're going to give the takeaway to Kyler Evans on a 50-50 ball. Evans out-wrestles Wiest.
That's what, 3 turnovers now for Plainfield?
And back-to-back turnovers.
Yeah, and none bigger than the last 2 that they have had here. This, you know what? This is just a great defensive effort. He ties it up and pulls it away. It could have went either way. You call those in basketball the 50-50 balls, and you like it when your team comes out on top.
Hey, I didn't think 4A teams were supposed to have a lot of two-way guys. Mooresville has them. How about Kyler Evans there on an interception? He's been getting it done offensively.
Well, and I talked about earlier, with the humidity, and the humidity, I should say, has certainly dropped a lot. But early on, that's where, players going both ways, where it certainly can take its toll. But guess what? I think Mooresville's players going both ways have played through it pretty well.
Well, Mabry and Evans being just our latest two examples, making plays defensively.
I don't think it affects those great athletes in super condition near like it affects us big guys with a little more to carry around.
From the 45, Mooresville a 2-touchdown lead and now trying to eat some clock. Goodman does want to throw. Throws on the run, has his receiver. That'll keep the clock moving. That is a first down.
How about the route, Rob? Did you see the route? He breaks and then comes back to the football. That's what you always teach your receivers to do. If your quarterback, key is, if he's running, you come back. Come back, get the ball.
Eineman makes that catch for the first down.
Take a look here. His sprints out to his right from the shotgun. Now this receiver cuts his route. He sees the quarterback running, comes back for the football. Good job.
And that's against Litzelman, their number one cover man in the secondary. Reverse. A little trickery here to Eineman. And guess who wasn't fooled? The team wearing the red jerseys. That could not have been played any more perfectly than it was by Bailey Haston.
In the third period, it's Columbus North 31, Southport 14 in the third period tonight.
Haston, a sophomore, made a play there that a senior would make. He stayed at home on the reverse and tackled Eineman well behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 5 to make it 2nd and 15. 20 seniors on this Plainfield roster, but that play right there made by a 10th grader. And their best linebacker is a junior in Platt.
That's intercepted.
Room down that left sideline. Mabry knocks him out of bounds around the 20. A takeaway that was desperately needed by the Plainfield Quakers. And they turn to number 3, Hunter Herbeck, the sophomore, to make it.
Huge mistake here. That's just not a good decision. The defender makes a great cut on the football, had his eyes glued. I don't know if there was miscommunication or what, because this time the Mooresville receiver did not come back at all after he broke. And boy, this is exactly what the doctor ordered for Plainfield. They have great field position now. They've got to find a way to get this in the end zone.
And they still have plenty of time now at 9:50 remaining in the game, and Aiden Moyers comes back in at quarterback now. Oh, boy. Gadia was so close to breaking that one. He does get into the red zone, but he's tackled at the 19. Tavian Gadia. Look how close he is to busting this thing wide open.
Well, that's kind of way that's been the way all night long. He's either busted him or gotten close.
And they just went to the hurry-up offense. Jack Beebe made a catch on the left flank as we were reviewing that highlight, and it is a gain of not quite enough for a first down. 3rd and about half a yard now. Gadia bounced off of one tackler, gets himself inside of the 10, down to around the 5. Mabry will get him at the 4. It'll be 1st and goal for the Quakers.
Rob, real quickly, Cathedral, one of the teams we talked about, trailing Cincinnati Elder in the 4th period, 26-21.
Plainfield knocking at the door, and a touchdown here makes this game a lot more interesting. Direct snap it. Gadia will keep. Lower the shoulder. Driving the legs. Touchdown, Quakers.
That's what you want to do. You want to take a turnover and convert it into points. And wow, it just looked like for seconds Plainfield may be out of this one. A turnover gets them right back in this thing.
And if you're Mooresville, the one thing you could not have was a turnover.
Oh, and that one.
You just wanted to eat up some clock, hold on to the lead.
That turnover was epic proportion. Not only was it a turnover, it was a huge return.
See if Nichols can bang through the extra point here. It's good. It's a 7-point game, 49-42. Wow, what a Friday night in Plainfield. Mooresville with a 1-touchdown lead on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
This is Old You. And this is Now You.
5 wears his fire hat and coat in the wind.
Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent. And now you can stop knocking on wood.
If you have not moved to the edge of your seat yet, now would be a good time. Plainfield, when I had left them for dead, they were down 2 touchdowns. They're rubbing my nose in it. They get a takeaway and drive right down the field and score. And now it's 49-42. And if their defense could come up with a stop and get the ball back.
Yes, sir. And you
what
know,
a finish this could be.
And Rob, you know, if you're a defensive coordinator and you win, you go, we won. If you're on the other end, you go, I just can't believe this game.
Be careful here of kicking it to Eineman. We've already seen him take 1 to the house in the kick return game earlier tonight. He is the deep man with Harris Nichols getting ready to kick off. They will angle it away from him. Oh, nice bounce.
Oh, did they ever get a bounce?
And an even better pickup off of that bounce by the guy that was injured earlier in this game, Augie Newkirk.
Did that surprise you?
A little bit.
That caught me. I go, no way. With this much clock, would they consider onside?
And they got the perfect bounce,
Did
Jan.
they ever? If you're going to get an onside, that's exactly what you want right there. Now, Mooresville's got great field. They took a little bit of a gamble. Hey, but you got to give him kudos for at least going for it here.
46-yard line, 1st and 10, Mooresville. With the lead, the Pioneers, and Mabry the ball carrier. He's out to the 49-yard line. Again, the thinking process for Mooresville, burn up some clock, score a touchdown here, put this game away. But the last time they were thinking that way, they turned it over on an interception.
You're not going to see him pass this ball now, I doubt, after that interception, unless they just have to. They're going to not come out of this huddle here until they just have to either. They're watching that play clock down to 17 seconds now.
What a game it has been tonight in Plainfield.
Great crowd.
Mabry again carrying, bouncing it to the outside, and picking up the first down.
How big is that first down? If they play it right here, they can. It's just under 8 minutes. They can literally get this clock clear down to 6 minutes using 3 downs. The key is here, get the first down. Boy, I don't know what else to say about these young men. He has put on a show tonight. He knew exactly where he needed to get for this first down, move the change, keep that clock going, keep the drive going.
Mabry ran for 732 yards last year. He's over 300 yards already early in this season. And he scored touchdowns today, both offensively and defensively. And here he goes again. He appears to never tire. He gets himself to the 39-yard line before he's finally pushed the other direction by number 59, Drew Greiner, one of the captains for the Plainfield Quakers.
I know one thing. He may not be tired on this football field, but when he goes home tonight, he's going to sleep like a baby. He has put in some mileage, and he has earned every dime of it. And hey, let's give this Mooresville front line a lot of credit too, Rob. He's had some pretty good blocking too.
2nd down and 6. Mabry is out of the game for the moment, getting a rest. And Goodman wants to pass. Pass he does. Catch is made by Kyler Evans. I don't know if he'll be enough for a first down.
No.
He got hit right just shy of the sticks.
Evans went up to get this one. It took off on him just a little bit, but Evans gets up and gets it and makes a secure grab. 2-step drop, ball right there.
And it is a 3rd down, by the way, Jan. He was shy, so 3rd and 1 for Mooresville. Big 3rd down here. No surprise, Mabry has subbed back into the game. They're going to quarterback sneak it. Goodman falls forward. And a first down, and that'll give them a new set of downs now for Mooresville.
At the end of 3 periods, Rob, it's Center Grove 17, Carmel 7. So a potential upset brewing there at Center Grove.
Clock running after the sticks are set. Mooresville taking their time. They've got a 7-point lead. Mabry has a crease. Has enough for a first down. Boy, that is such a huge run because once again it moves the sticks for you.
Rob, how about this score? A team we've seen early at Lucas, Noblesville, now leads Fishers in the 4th period, 15-9.
That ball got all the way to the 20-yard line. First down, new set of downs for Mooresville as we go under 6 minutes remaining in the game. Jumping on and holding on for dear life was Mason Scott, yet another sophomore on the Plainfield defense. They are young on defense, are the Quakers. Mabry with Jacob Platt hanging all over him. Gets down to maybe the 18-yard line. Jacob Platt, the leading tackler for Plainfield. His father, Chad Platt, was an excellent defensive lineman at the University of Evansville back in the day. Chad Platt was a teammate and a roommate of mine. And now it's a pleasure for me to watch his son play middle linebacker for Plainfield. I told Jacob earlier in the pregame, I said, you're much more athletic than your father. He could never have played linebacker. And Platt has made a ton of plays tonight for the Plainfield defense, but is it going to be enough? Here's Mabry. Speaking of athletic guys, Mabry pushing towards the 10-yard line. He's inside of the 10. It's going to be 1st and goal Mooresville, and now the Pioneers are going to have a chance to really put a nail in the coffin of the Quakers.
Number 1 Warren Central 37, North Central 14. As we take a look at the replay, this young man has flat out put his team on his back, and he has performed tonight. He's one of those special ball carriers. He just is.
Clock running, under 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Mabry has checked out of the game for the moment. They'll give it to the backup tailback, who's going to get to the 5-yard line and no further. Stopped right there is Green, the sophomore running back.
And not only is Mooresville moving the ball here and chewing up, they did an excellent job. Remember, this clock was clear up with 8+ minutes. They've got it down now to 4. Rob, they get a score in here and use all this clock, they're really going to make it difficult for Plainfield.
2nd and goal from the 5. Green is staying in the game because as I look across the way, I think Mabry is either fatigued or hurt. And now a timeout is taken. Mooresville burns their final timeout of the game. Mabry on that far sideline had his hands on his knees. I don't think he's injured. He just looks fatigued. And how could you blame him after the night he has had both offensively and defensively tonight for Mooresville? This timeout will give Mabry a chance to maybe catch his breath as they're going with a backup tailback Green here in the final 4 minutes of the game.
When's the last time you've seen 91 points in a high school football game, Rob?
I don't know that answer off the top of my head.
Well, I can tell you that one of the last ones I seen had to do with the team we had last week. At New Pal a few years back. They have been a machine for years, and I've seen some serious scores they put up on the board before.
This is one of those games, if you're the athletic director and you went through the crowd and told everyone they had to pay $5 extra because the game was so good, they all would gladly give $5.
Sold.
They'd be like, absolutely. This has been worth the price of admission and then some. No matter which team you're rooting for, this has been an entertaining game from the very kickoff.
Rob, a team we'll see next week will travel to Brownsburg to see them take on Avon. It will be our game of the week. They are now beating Franklin Central in the 3rd period, 30-0.
Wow. John Hart and Brownsburg.
He's got him rolling, doesn't he?
Mabry has come back into the game, so that timeout may be used strategically for him. They give him the ball. He stutter steps in the hole. He dives for the end zone. Did that ball pop out of there? Boy, I can't tell. No, he kept possession, but he did not score a touchdown.
The move he made, they had Plainfield has the blitz on here. They literally blitzing the whole team. And he sidesteps the blitz. Take a look here. You see the linebackers for Plainfield. They're in blitz. Here it comes. Now watch him sidestep the blitz. Bam, right there. Right beside two linebackers. Almost got in.
That ball did come out of there. That ball was fumbled. I
thought it was too.
But Mooresville fell on top of it at the half-yard line. Remember, earlier in the game, Plainfield recovered a fumble in the end zone for a touchdown. Mooresville almost did the same thing.
Well, he's not going to get in.
Oh, Goodman tried to keep it, and he's not going to get there. Jacob Platt, I was just talking about Jacob. He snuck in there and grabbed the QB from behind and kept him from scoring.
And if you're Plainfield, you can't afford to have him score. On the other hand, we're clear down to 3 minutes, and this clock just continues. Mooresville doesn't really care if they get in or not. If this game ends now, they're happy. So if they eat all the clock, but obviously they'd like to put it to bed here if they could get another score.
What an alert play by Jacob Platt to grab the quarterback and then pull him backwards to make sure he could not fall into the end zone. A timeout taken by Plainfield on what is going to come down to the biggest play of the game, at least to date, because you're looking at a 4th and goal from the 1 yard line for Mooresville.
If you got a decent field goal kicker, let's talk about him. For Mooresville, you make a 2-score game.
Swigert has not attempted a field goal this season.
And that's probably what they're thinking then.
Now this would be like an extra point. The problem is you're on the right hash.
That's a great
not
point.
Not a great angle.
He's been perfect tonight from that same distance, but the angle may be enough. And you're going, guys, I need a yard. You guys have got me, I don't know how many offensive yards they've totaled tonight, but all we need is one. You can come up with one, and this game's yours. Or at least really in your favor, I should say. It's never over. We've certainly seen stranger things.
Just like Plainfield defensively probably told their team, just hold them out 1 yard. Give our offense one more chance. With 3 minutes and 4 seconds remaining, 4th and goal for the Pioneers.
This is where your seniors step up. If you're Mooresville on that front line, guys, this is what we work for. This is all the extra hours of weightlifting.
Mabry ducks to the right side of the formation. Is he in?
Yes, No, they say he's not. They stopped him. What a stop by the Plainfield Quakers. I cannot tell you from a defensive lineman how tough that is, and that's Mooresville not using their head here.
Oh, and the 15-yard penalty. Let's look at the replay first.
I cannot tell you but look at the surge. Look at the surge, and the key for that is how low he got. That was an outstanding job by Caleb Busher, number 54.
And then a huge mental error by Mooresville because instead of Plainfield with a ball at the half-yard line, the 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty after the play takes the ball out to the 15.
You know you're frustrated, but that's not the time nor the place. You got to keep your heads, your captains, your seniors, got to get everybody together. Listen, guys, we got the lead. Don't help their cause by doing something silly here.
And they did do something silly.
Boy, this thing's not over. Boy, Rob, we was looking at, they get in there, and this thing's probably very close to over. Now, if you're Plainfield, you've got a breath of air, of fresh air here. Let's see what they do, but still not a lot of time.
Moyer's in at QB. Gaddia in a traditional tailback position now. He'll give it to Gaddia. All he needs is a crease. He's got one. He's out to the 26. Is it enough for a first down? I think it will be. Yes, sir, it is. 1st and 10. And they're in the hurry-up offense. They need a touchdown and an extra point to tie the game. Gaddia again. Lowering the shoulder, looking for running room out to the 30-yard line. Two and a half remaining. Plainfield has 2 timeouts left in their pocket, should they need them. Moyers wants to pass now. That ball is thrown deep and incomplete. Broken up defensively. Well played by Gavin Evans. Got his hand in there right at the last second to poke that ball away from Gage Henry.
Did he get a hand on that? It looked like he either had a hand on it or he deflected or kind of caused some issues of Plainfield receiver seeing the ball. Take a look here. I think he may have blocked his vision a little bit. I think
you're right.
It.
I don't think he touched it.
Yeah.
I do not think he touched
But
it.
sometimes that's all it takes. He don't care how he did it. It's done, right? Pressure.
Setting up the screen. They did get it to Gaddia, and he dropped it. They were setting up the screen, and Gaddia was not able to catch it. Now, 4th down coming.
We're on the side of Plainfield. You got a lot of nervous Quakers right now on the edge of their seat. No, they've got.
Are they quaking in their boots? The Quakers?
They have 2 minutes here, and now the key is you got to get a first down, Rob. You got to find your 4th and 7 play, and you've got to execute it.
Yeah, you have to extend the game. Cannot go without a first down now.
You make this one here, and that's going to make it really difficult to win.
See if they'll look for Gaddia. Maybe Ritter.
5 receivers.
He's in some trouble.
He's going down.
He's going to go down. He fumbled the ball. He fumbled the ball, and Mooresville falls on top of it. Recovered by Jalen Shuck, the senior defensive lineman. It was a strip sack. Shuck pops on top of it. Fumble recovery, and all of a sudden, Mooresville's in business again.
Well, you've sending out 6. You do the math, there's only 11 players. One's a quarterback. That doesn't leave a lot of players to block, and the pressure came.
Blake Garrett gets credited, I think it was Blake Garrett, for the strip sack.
Yep.
It looked to be number 5. I don't know if I can see that again or not. It was either he or number 9, Dominic Oldham. Regardless, the strip sack ends up being a huge play on 4th down for the Mooresville defense.
There's
Is
the
that
tackle.
5?
It's 5.
Yep, so it was number 5. I should have trusted my natural instinct. Blake Garrett.
For that good replay.
Now they'll take a knee because there's still 2 timeouts left here, and Plainfield's going to use the first of them.
Force Plainfield to take. There's one of them.
So Plainfield will be down to 1 timeout remaining in a 49-42 game that has been worth the price of admission and then some tonight.
Great game, Rob. Excellent game. And we'll continue on next week. How about it? At Brownsburg. Avon Brownsburg, the rival, 2 of the best teams that both of these teams have had in years. And we're going to be able to see it all here next Friday night. It'll be a dandy.
2 towns separated by 5 miles on Highway 267.
And they're crazy about football.
They are crazy about
that
football.
place. If you're coming to that game, and we certainly hope that you will, but if you don't, you can watch it. You better get there early because that place will be – there will be no standing room only. I guarantee it'll be that crowded.
That's our game next week, friends. In Brownsburg, the Bulldogs and the Orioles. Hendricks County get together. 2nd and 10. Goodman at QB, gives to Mabry, keeping the legs churning. He will eventually go down. He is tackled. Tackle made by number 54, Caleb Booher.
Well, Rob, after Center Grove got knocked off by New Powell last week, they come back with vengeance this week. It's a final. Center Grove beats Carmel 17-7.
Plainfield takes its final timeout. So they'll be out of timeouts. So does that mean New Powell would beat Carmel by
Don't know.
4 touchdowns?
Hey, how about this? The Millers get on the winning way, and it's a final. They beat Fishers 21-9.
I got to tell you, when we saw Noblesville in week 1, I didn't think they were that bad.
No.
For a team with a new coach. And
they start off with Cathedral. They play Carmel. And the first time they've beat Fishers in a long time. And the new head coach gets his first victory as a Miller, and his name escapes me. You got it on the tip of your tongue?
I thought watching that game that night, I thought, you know what, Noblesville, they might take some lumps early, obviously, with that schedule. But I thought they were going to be okay, and certainly winning tonight against Fishers is a step in the right direction. So here you go. It is now 3rd and 10. Now, Mooresville would not be able to run the clock out with a couple of kneel downs. They cannot do that. There wouldn't be enough time on the clock to make that happen. So they're going to have to keep running offensive plays. Here's Mabry. And he will get down at about the 6-yard line. So now you're looking at 4th and goal. I said 3rd and 10 a moment ago. I should have been more specific. It's 3rd and goal from the 10, but that run now makes it 4th and goal from the 6.
New pal?
What about him?
63, Yorktown 14.
They're a machine. 4th and goal from the 6. They're going to line up to try a field goal to make it a 10-point advantage. If Swigert could boot it through, be his first field goal of the season. Kick is on the way, and it is good, and that's a big one.
Yep.
A 24-yard field goal off of the right foot of Christian Swigert. His first field goal of the season, and now it's a 10-point lead at 52-42, and Plainfield is out of timeouts with 1:01 to go in the game on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
A licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Well, that field goal, the first of the season by Swigert, may indeed be just enough for Mooresville, because now you've got a 10-point lead and Plainfield doesn't have any timeouts.
Well, obviously one team's not going to be happy, but one thing you can't fault either one of these teams, they laid it out on the line. I mean, they just did. I mean, the offenses were a lot of fun. The Lions, I thought, on both of offensive side played really well. You get in a game like this, you just know a mistake here, mistake there usually is the finishing piece that puts it over the edge.
Well, think about it. The touchdown in the game that turned it around was the scoop and score by Mabry.
Yep.
The fumble recovery touchdown is ultimately the difference in this game. Now, they've just added the field goal, obviously, from Swigert, but that was the touchdown.
No doubt about it.
That gave Mooresville just enough separation to win this game, if indeed they hold on and win. Ball will be at the 20 for Plainfield. Now, the one thing Plainfield does have for them, they have some playmakers, but enough to score 10 points or more in the final 1:01, I don't know about that.
Yeah. Well, and you just know Plainfield, if they can't somehow find a way to pull this one out, this one's going to hurt. Because you score 42 points, you think you should win.
Moyers works from the shotgun here. Steps up in the pocket and hit as he throws, and it will be an incomplete pass.
Yeah, and this puts Moyer in a really difficult position as a sophomore quarterback when you as a lineman know he has no choice but to pass the football.
Yeah.
You disregard run. You pin your ears down, get in your quickest rushing stance you can find, and you just flat out go after him.
That's what Clayton Walls did right there. Walls, the senior, was providing the pressure defensively. Here they come again. Now this time able to step away from the trouble, but the pass is incomplete. It was good footwork by the QB, but that pass intended for Henry is incomplete as Moyers avoided the trouble, but the pass was too high and out of the reach of Henry, and now 3rd and 10. Last year, Plainfield scored 54 points on the road to win at Mooresville. It looks like tonight Mooresville is going to score 52 on the road to win at Plainfield. Or did I speak too soon? A breakout run for Burden. Logan Burden, the senior, keeps the game alive for now. He's out to the 43-yard line.
Well,
Mooresville wasn't even in a stance defensively. Half of the guys weren't even ready, I don't think. And here he goes.
Kind of caught him off guard there a little bit. All the receivers were just downfield blocking, and they get a huge run here.
Well, you mix in the running game. It does work when everyone's expecting pass. Nice throw and catch. Quickly caught and then out of bounds by Ritter. Enough for a first down? Yes, it is.
This game now at the 2.5-hour mark. A lot of scoring tonight, but that's what you want. you talked about, what a great bargain. What a show these young men put on. The weather held out. Great rivalry, packed house, and I might add some of the best hot dogs I've ever had in my life.
Incomplete and then intercepted. Thrown behind the receiver and picked off by Dane Stevenson, the sophomore. Man, we've had a lot of sophomores make plays in this game for both teams. Stevenson just iced this one for Mooresville.
Well, I've got Plainfield now unofficially 4 turnovers. Is that right, or do you have them for 5? I got them for 4. I think 4.
This one's just a little bit behind Ritter, but that's a heck of a one-handed catch by Stevenson. That was not an easy catch. Left-handed, he reached out and grabbed it. And that puts this game on ice as Mooresville is going to improve to 3-0 on the season. They only won 3 games the entire season last year. Now they're about to go 3-0 to start the season this year.
First time they were 2-0 in 3 years. They have not beat Plainfield in 3 years. This one, if you're a Mooresville fan, feels awful, awful good. To beat somebody else on their turf and you're undefeated, coming from an 0-8 start last year, that is a long journey, long way to go. Both these ball clubs, I thought, put on a show. Plainfield's still going to win some games, but this is just one of those games, Rob. A mistake here, a mistake there made the difference.
Turnovers indeed made a difference in this one, but there was still plenty of offense to be had. Mooresville improves to 3-0 on the season. Up next, they finally get a home game. They played the first 3 games of the year on the road. They're at home next week for the first time against Greenwood. Plainfield falls to 1-2. They are on the road next week at Perry Meridian. Jan Bozier, my broadcast partner tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Heath Shanahan producing this broadcast with Rick Vanderweil, our technical director. And JC, the man behind the television camera. 52-42 is the final. I'm Rob Blackman, hoping that you enjoy your Labor Day weekend. Folks, have a great Labor Day. We will visit with you again next Friday night from Brownsburg when Avon visits Brownsburg for a 7 o'clock kickoff. We hope you'll join us then right here on IHSAATV.org. The final tonight, Mooresville 52, Plainfield 42 on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.